Now to do some shit.
The button.
Oh, there we go. All right. That. Copy.
I
Yo,
just
Marissa, so I'm over here waiting for my YouTube notification like that lady waiting for Mervin's. Who's Mervin's?
who that?
I don't know. But whatever. Good.
Oh, she should have it now.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, lost today. We kind of see this one coming. I mean, I'm just happy they kind of held up.
Stop.
Half the fight down the road. Kind of questionable with Dean Pease and his calls.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. You don't.
The video was a 6-minute video. I
No, damn.
couldn't sit there and watch it for 6 minutes.
Damn it. What's up, sis? What's up, Biddy?
Peoples! She ever gave me a pill for my headache and I haven't blinked in 6 hours. Girl, you going to jail. That's funny.
That's hilarious. Yo, why the fuck? Facebook be on some bullshit a lot. A lot.
Oh, yeah. That's
All I'm trying to do is share the damn video. And it's been posting since I shared it. Like literally. And the screen is all blacked out. Just Dougie Fresh was on. Oh man. Facebook is on some.
That's where Eddie is. He was up at 3 o'clock in the morning shenanigans with Mike.
That's what it was, yo. Because Mike did a Twitch, right? Or something like that. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, that's what it was. His ass probably sleep. He probably knocked the fuck out. It figures.
Shenanigans with the shenanigans.
Shenanigans are afoot.
As always.
I mean, it's like you got pickups, yo.
Shut up. Leave me be.
Yo, I'm just saying. Yeah, the hookups right there.
Say less. Please.
I be trying, but.
Nah, nigga. What up, Bowflex?
What up, Bowflex? I be trying, but it's real difficult to do that. Yeah, I mean.
Nah, I don't know. You mean?
Yo, I don't do. Nobody else use that. Yes, they do. Because I just realized that what's the name? Lord Jamar. He has a podcast, but it's Yadameen.
Yeah, him. What is it?
Raw Digger. I think.
Yeah, Raw Digger.
I like Raw Digger. You know what
I mean,
that's a goat. That's a goat right there. But
I don't know, yo. She don't be checking them the way I would have expected her to be checking.
Saw her. Well, see,
she do be quiet. She do be quiet when we doing this bullshit. I saw. She ain't feeding into it, but I haven't heard her check him. Like,
what's crazy is I saw.
And again, it might be his show.
That could be, but still, even so, your show or not, nigga. Like, you got somebody on there to be able to be a foil for what you're saying. But I only saw her really check him one time because he said some bullshit as usual. But he's talking about women MCs. He said some bullshit about women MCs, and I was like, "You're bugging because you ain't out rapping none of my top 5 women MCs at all, nigga.
He ain't out rapping nobody. Like, never mind. Let me not get flagrant.
I fuck Lord Jamar. I'm sorry, I fuck Lord Jamar up.
That's not what I was going to say. Clearly, we would. That's not. No, I was about to be like super flagrant. Like,
super flagrant.
Yeah,
that nigga, he got a lot of shit with him, yo. This motherfucker,
Soulja Boy on his worst day.
nigga.
Rap circles around Lord Jamal.
Real flagrant like that. You about to be real flagrant.
Appreciate you both legs.
Yo, I'm just telling you. What's up, Chris? That nigga said that crazy shit, and I said, yo, you ain't out rapping none of my top 5 women. None of them. Nigga, you? No. Don't get me wrong. He got some verses that are dope for that time. They just stand the test of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, B. Nah.
Yeah, Lord Jamal's trash in pretty much every aspect.
I don't like his ass. Jonathan. Appreciate that. I just dropped that for y'all. That's not even the finished version. There's a couple things I gotta add to it. But I feel like I've been neglecting my Bandcamp subscribers.
Well, duh.
Had to drop that up there. It's just too much shit going on and other things. But I'm trying to.
Too much shit going on.
Shut up, you.
That worked. Yeah, it worked. Jamal.
Yo, Jamal. I see, but she won't do it. I know she won't do it. But I would love to see her give him a quick 32 like she did Tyler the Creator. Fuck his ass. He said that. You on a show with one of the most illest MCs, period, but definitely women MCs, Raw Digger. And you what? You gonna say some slander about women MCs? Yo, Nessa will fuck him up.
Facts.
Out of here.
All facts. Without question.
What's he talking about?
Yeah.
That's no fuck him up. He put down the 16, let Nessa put down the 16. Nessa kill his ass. Talking that shit. That's a fact, Flex. That's a fact.
Yeah, let me go get some water. Let me put the geese back on.
Oh, yeah, me too. Shit.
Asshole.
This nigga with the geese. Oh, man. Yeah, man. Listen, back in the day, I was a fan of the brand Nubians in general, right? And I liked a lot of their music. There are some of their songs that I can still listen to now and be like, yo, that shit's fire. It's never been Lord Jamar, though. He's always had okay verses, right? For that time. It's been the other two, Grand Poobah and Lord Sadat. You know what I'm saying? They always been the ones. But a lot of his takes are toxic as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And completely ignorant. And the fact is, I think he got away with it a lot because much in a lot of things, people that's considered to be pioneers in something, they get the leeway that somebody else who was saying the exact same bullshit wouldn't have gotten. You know what I'm saying? But
all facts.
That's all that is. And yeah, listen. I feel like you can be truthful about somebody's ridiculous bullshit and still respect what they did for the art form. Like Brand Nubians was a pioneering group in the type of hip hop they were doing, as far as subject matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But let's not get it twisted. It's not like Lil Jamal was over here confounding us. What's up, Special Space? Look, confounding us with lyrics of fury.
Oh man,
that's not what was happening. That's not what was happening.
When I listen to rap, all I hear is
this nigga.
It's just
yeah, free thinker. That's what I'm talking about. Like he got a lot of nerve, man. Like I said, I'm gonna give him the respect of what they accomplished. I remember a time when the song Slow Down, as soon as that played, I was watching the Apollo, the whole Apollo talent thing, right? As soon as that beat hit, because they did do their thing back then, right? Mm-hmm. They even got a 5 mic album out of the Source when it mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they did, but that was a long time ago. And while I'm gonna give you the respect for that, I'm not gonna respect nothing else because the shit I heard is bullshit.
Facts.
I've heard him say bullshit repeatedly. And it's like
often.
Everybody has a
early
thing I'm not going to disagree that I'm not going to agree with. Everybody has some things. That's not. But his be like back to back to back to back to back. Like, man, shut your dumb ass up.
Yeah.
And I'm tired. And listen, I am tired.
Nigga, how? What the?
What happened? Oh, I am tired of. There is a certain segment of our community, that has filtered over into the hip hop community, right? And these are the guys who we used to call jailhouse prophets, right? They went to jail, and they actually learned something in there because they were sat down for a minute, so they learned a little something when they was in there, right? And then they come home, and they with all of the new stuff that they learned in prison. They really do. And then what's ass, people get in the head, oh, hey, guy's real smart. And I'd be like, he's real indoctrinated. There's a lot of things he learned in there that he could not break down to its smallest part.
Common denominator?
Yeah, he could not break that down. He's learned these things in these big chunks. So he spews it off. But if you was to ask him any real detail about it, to really get into it, I know because I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, they learn these chunks of history, but they don't know the nuances in there and all the little details. They learn these chunks of science, but they don't know the little nuances in there. And then they get the credit for being, oh, he's really smart.
He's smart-ish.
He's smart-ish.
He's smart adjacent.
Yeah, right. But you're not. Oh, for real, Free Thinker says, my uncle's like that. Special Space says, I want to take a moment today to appreciate I Know Nothing. The rhythm is hot and rhymes be solid. They do be solid.
Thank you, sir.
They do. Free Thinker, I used to have an uncle like that. He passed away years ago. I had an uncle like that too. Yo, but see, the thing is, the hood is full of them.
Well,
listen, the area that me and SPJ grew up in Baltimore, we from different generations of time, but it's roughly the same fucking shit, right? So you would have a certain segment of the subculture, criminal subculture that was there that would go to jail, back and forth to jail. They'd be in jail all winter, then come home in summer, go back to jail, come home in the summer. Full of these type of cats that break down how far the sun is from the earth. These little chunks of knowledge that don't equal any expertise in anything. They
don't help anything.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of them. So much so that when I was a Muslim, people that on the job that I worked at thought that I became that when I got locked up. And I went, no. No. It was well after that. Thank you. But that's the expectation because many of these guys go in and come out, you know what I'm saying, and they got they prison profits. You know what I'm saying?
Rotations and gravitational pulls.
Yeah, they know all of this stuff. But it doesn't equal up into any expertise.
It's real shit.
Prison bars. That's something you got to deal with. I'm just saying, right? But that's what Lord Jamal reminds me of. There's a couple of people actually remind me of that, but I don't want. Fuck it, I'm gonna have to defame them. It ain't meant as defamation, but it's gonna come off as that. RZA is one of them. No, excuse me, not RZA, GZA. My bad. GZA is one of them. GZA has gotten quite a bit of cool press attaching his brand to science stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad he did that because there's a segment of that listening audience that needs to see people are interested in things other than the standard cultural themes that they typically see. That's dope. But I watched GZA on this show he had on Netflix. And as the guy was sitting there breaking down some quantum physics to him, I recognized that look in his eye. I recognized that look. I recognize that look. That's the look of a man who is, I'm just gonna let you talk because I don't know about what you're talking about right there, sir. Freethinker says, Freethinker says, I tell people just because you go to prison and learn doesn't make you Malcolm X. That's a fact. I'm glad you learned something when you was in there. You spent your time learning something, right? But then when you come out, I had a guy. I used to work at Phillips Seafood Warehouse, right? And before I was a supervisor there, I was a regular employee. They turned me into a assistant supervisor. We had this guy that came on that spent 20 years in jail. Came on the staff. Hard worker, bust his ass, dependable, did what he was supposed to do. He was trying to start his life over again. You know what I'm saying? We got into a conversation one day, and he said something that was demonstrably false, and I can't remember what it was, but it's demonstrably false. And I asked, where did you get that? He said, on the internet. I said, bro, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. Yes, you can. They can't lie on the internet. I'm like, whoa.
Hey, yo.
Listen, whoa.
What?
Wait. I'm going to stop you there.
What?
I'm going to stop.
Who can't do what? Where?
He said this. Yes.
And why?
He said this.
Oh.
So how? Bro, I realize you've been gone for a while, right? But the internet is chock full of lies. It's like the perfect chocolate chip cookie that has all those little chips in there. Just lies. Yo,
that's the first version of that I've ever heard.
Yo, it was bad, B. And
I understand that it's on the internet, so it's true. I get that. I understand that. They can't lie on the internet.
Like he was under the impression that there was some sort of regulatory this or some body of peer review. Or stuff. No, bro.
That's a crazy bar, my guy.
It's the craziest bar ever. You know what I'm saying? And it was nothing I could I had this conversation with him, and it was nothing I could do to have him fall back on that. You interneting wrong. You really
really.
They be lying. They lie.
Wow. No, yo.
He said this. And I wasn't the only one having a conversation with him. It was me, it was the then supervisor, Tony, and it was my man. We used to call my homeboy R. Kells. Because he looked like him. Not because of that. He just looked like him. And I'm just sitting there thinking, Marissa said, was this the 90s? No.
Yo, what was your life, my guy?
Yo,
you got an R. Kells.
He looked like,
and you got a nigga that say they can't lie. What was your life? I understand why you are who you are now. What the fuck?
He just looked like me, yo. That was all that was. Yo, Sean to say. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Abraham Lincoln. Listen. He said that, B. Now I need y'all to understand certain things, because there are some cultural differences, right? Because of where SBJ and I grew up, we've seen these type of dudes our whole life.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's a certain amount of social capital that comes with that in these areas. Guy comes out, most of the time they're skinned and cleared up. They didn't put some healthy weight on. Back when they allowed them to have weights up in there, they work, they come out, they shining when they come home. And then they know all these information bites, this, that, third, and other, and they really good at rounding it off. You know what I'm saying? So they seem real convincing to somebody that doesn't quite have, they don't have the observational skills that we have, right? But this is a real thing. So much of a thing with the social capital part. As I remember when I was a Muslim, I was a full garb, the whole, we call it the jelly bean, the jelly beer, with all of that. Without even knowing me, people would ascribe certain characteristics to me. You don't even know me personally, just because you saw me wear that. Just because, oh, you're Muslim, because blah, 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 blah. That shit is real. That shit is raw. That shit is authentic. No. It's crazy how that is, but and a lot of them guys get away with shit, and that's what some of these rappers remind me of. They as soon as it's not the raps, it's when I hear them in interviews and go,
yes,
that tracks. That tracks. You know. And I'm saying, I'm not begrudging them. I knew quite a few of them that were good people, but some of them, I guess they mean well, but
not helpful.
They're not helpful. It's not helpful. And then this how you know, because when they have a conversation with somebody that actually was interested in learning science, and it didn't take for them to go to prison to figure that out. They were generally interested in it as a form of almost entertainment to them. They watching documentaries, they read, they see an article, and they had these conversations with them. You see the difference? And I've had a chance to be around and be in conversations with actual scientists, people that worked in certain fields, thanks to this whole from 2012 OGU shit. It's a difference, B. It's a difference. It hit different. That's all I'm telling you. It hit different. When the motherfucker know equations and she's like, it hit different. it hit a little different. To me, it's a lot more impressive. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that was an intro to that shit for you, but if you're really interested in it, you might want to dig a little deeper. And for anybody that might come across either the audio of this or the video of this, may I suggest that you go check out World Science U, the website. Physicist Brian Greene put out a great website, and he has various levels of education wherever you may have stopped at, or maybe you didn't begin at all, so you want to start at the beginning of it. He has all of that for advanced as well as people that are just coming in to learn that shit. I put my brother Marlon on that. He learned a lot of shit from there. Go do that. go do that. Fill in some of them blanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, fill that shit in. Mm-hmm. So, is Addy coming aboard today? I don't
fucking know. He's saying things. He has said things, and I have responded to said things.
Okay,
and then
it did nothing. Is that what you're saying?
So I don't know.
You don't really know.
He's seen what I sent,
right?
And that's all I know. We're here.
Interesting.
This is where we are.
We will see if he pops on at a certain point. Do you want to start with the intro and get that out of the way, or
kinda, because that's how you begin a show? I mean
kinda, really?
No, no, I don't.
A little bit.
There's no nuance here.
I mean, some shows don't have intros, but
I mean, yeah, but we're talking about this show.
Hey, I'm talking about those other shows. So, we get this out of the way. So when you edit it,
that's not happening. It's just, it's just a thing.
All right. Me. Do re mi fa sol la.
All right.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You
and I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, once again, pretty sure you've noticed Adequate is not on the show. He might pop in.
He may or may not be. Who knows?
May or may not pop in.
Schrodinger's Adequate.
Right. Schrodinger's Adequate. That's hilarious. He might pop in. He might not. And if he does, he's more than welcome to once he gets certain things straight. Come on in. I want to ask this question from Special Space. During my Islamic time, how did I approach science versus the Quran? Well, see, here's the thing about that, Special Space. So I didn't start out in traditional Islam. I started out with the Nation of 5%, right? So in that, they use a form of, I'm referring to it as scientism, all right? Where they got, all of these, they call actual facts. Some of them are outdated as a motherfucker, right? But they tried to link themselves.
Hey, hold on. Sorry, Scarcat. No, I do not want to become famous.
Here we go. The bots are back.
No, I just had to.
No, I'm not always address.
Yeah.
But because of that, but even before I was into any of that, I was kind of interested in that stuff, just not super hard on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would see it. My grandfather had a bunch of books he would get all the time, and he would always watch them documentaries on PBS, some science documentaries and shit. And I sit there and watch it with him. That was as far as my interest was, like in that. That's what kind of sparked it. Once I got into traditional Islam, the one thing I noticed, and they're not the only ones, so I'm not picking on them. Typically, there are religions that do make an attempt to link their stuff with science, because over the years they've had conversations with people outside of their group, and those conversations have helped evolve their takes on their religion. So they feel like we gotta kind of have this. This is not it, like if you go to like even with the Catholic Church, Catholic Church has scientists. They're working. You know what I'm saying? Like they've attempted over the years, right, to try to. So, in Islam, I don't remember, at least the set I was in, I don't remember them being adverse to science. It's just that they was definitely more interested in science that they thought verified what they were teaching.
Oh, of course.
That sort of thing.
I think this whole thing gets overblown a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like any group that you may have differences with in general.
Right.
That subsection of them that presents the worst of your differences tends to be the representative for everyone.
Facts. Oh, we gonna talk. I am so glad you said that, sir, because that's actually part of what my week was like. So
yeah, no point in my entire life have I been anti-science.
Right. And a lot of them aren't.
Born and raised a Christian.
People, right. A lot of rich people aren't. Like even not anti. A lot of them are not anti-science. They may not be as informed about it because it's not an interest of theirs to that degree. But a lot of them are not. It's just the ones that are the loudest.
They are super.
You know what I'm saying? Super loud, whatever. But I'm glad you said that about applying the behavior of a small percentage to an entire group. First, rapper died this week, was murdered this week. Young Dolph. We'll get this out the way. Condolences to his family.
Thanks.
I was not a fan.
Never looked
truthful. I've never heard any of his music, but my particular bias, I own it. Typically, where there's a young or little next to a name, I tend to stay away from that because the odds are they do something I don't listen to, and I have been surprised. There's been times
I've actually had a conundrum about this, particularly saying as though like he's older than me.
Oh, I'm about to bring that up too. Young Dolph was 36 years old.
Yeah,
he was almost 40-year-old man. So,
I'm a little confused about
the.
I don't know nothing about
to a 52-year-old.
Well, sure,
young man, young Dolph, but because I know I've been in the hip hop I know how that looks to 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
I know how that looks. Young,
right?
Right.
Yeah, like I'm confused.
A little confusing.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Live.
Oh my goodness.
we have something that could equate to a guest. because it's been a little minute since he's been like here.
It's true.
Our partner in crime coming to you live from Goose Creek, Carolina.
Yo, fam. Like, yo, when you had text me that shit, I was like, oh, so you stay there? I was like, yo, that's so fucking funny.
Yo,
that is so fucking funny. And I stay in Goose Creek, and Geese be fucking with me.
Do you know how much that changes the entire dynamic of your running, ongoing beef with Geese?
Dog, it makes it worse.
Looking at the screen, my guy. You looking at the screen?
Yeah, I am. Yo.
Oh,
yeah.
Yo. Hey, yo, Special Space would like to know if you are in the shitter. Because it kind of looks like you're in the shitter right now.
Oh no, I'm in my kitchen. Like,
okay, all right, we just checking. we just checking.
That's a Special Space. That's for everybody that's showing up.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my man straight from Goose Creek, the invader himself. The actual problem. Not the geese.
You be Columbus.
But the thing is, now that I live in Goose Creek, I didn't know like there would be a lot of geese out here because I never lived out here. But I should have known better though.
Yeah, it's in the name.
Yeah, it's in the name. It's kind of
in the name. I should have suspected that shit.
Yeah, you should have thought about that a little bit.
Maybe out there. And then I work at Moss Corner, and when I posted the video on Facebook, they was at my job, and like at my job, like we're not really supposed to like have our phones out like that, whatever. I was like, no, like these niggas literally following me.
You was on your break, and it's not like they're a top secret installation or some shit. Like,
dog,
it was outside. You wasn't even in the building. Like they need to cut it out. Cut it out.
They was waiting for me. Like yo, they was literally at the where I take my breaks at. It was literally at that bench. And I was like, I'm gonna shut out the other bench. Right? And then they like slowly started moving. I was like, all right, I'm gonna creep a little bit more, see if I can sit there or not. Then they left. I was like,
ruffle their feathers, my guy.
At all. I don't play around with geese. Like
no, especially considering that's their house.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is the house Geese built.
Because if you think about it, like all this shit that's been built up, like because you gotta understand, like South Carolina is like not really built up like that, just like like land and shit.
Yeah,
so these are like places where they like had children, you know what I'm saying? They laid eggs at, and that's their natural habitat. Then they're coming back to like what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. What they've been doing probably for 1,000 years.
Exactly. So they're just going back to what they're used to. And they see houses and shit like they still don't give a fuck.
And they see you.
Yeah.
Fuck is this nigga doing here?
Fuck, why are you here? Straight up.
They got questions.
They got questions. These questions, really only one person they wanted answers from, and that was you. And
me.
What did you do? What did you do? What did you do?
Like I said, every time I see them niggas, I feel like some Jurassic Park theme song is playing in the back of my head. We running up on you. What you gonna do?
Yo, Marissa say, and he discovered the legacy.
Hey, yo, Shasta says. But no, I just wanted to tap in with y'all real quick. Yeah, y'all already know like my situation right now. I just wanted to tap in real quick.
Word. Well,
I love y'all though. Real shit,
too, bro. We appreciate you being you.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And coming back on the show.
Except for the geese part. Like, can you like
no, first of all, I'm glad he came on the show, so I didn't forget that this nigga.
But for real, I really wanted.
If he was a wrestler, the announcers will be announcing him coming down the aisle at a weight of 160 pounds. Goose Creek, South Carolina. Adequate
Hey, yo, you know what's so good about that shit though? If they have a stadium out here, because I don't know nothing about anything in South Carolina, but if they have a stadium out here,
Right.
do you know like it would be held in Goose Creek
Yeah, of course it would.
for wrestling shit?
Of course it would. Of course it would.
Oh god, I fuck with it out here though. But yo, I love y'all boys. What's that?
Them geese will be fucking you up. Like you'll come down the ring doing all this shit, the crowd yelling, and here comes a geese with a chair. Bah!
No, I'm going back. I'm going back.
Oh, okay.
I'm not walking down. What are you talking about?
That's what's up.
You said we're gonna play with like yo. People be thinking like I'm playing like I'm doing this shit as a joke. No, I don't fuck with them. No, they don't fuck with us.
No, you absolutely should not.
They mad anti-black.
No,
I don't fuck with them.
Yo,
leave them geese alone.
Leave them geese alone.
For facts. Yo, the first time like I ever had like really an interaction with geese is remember, Toon, did I ever show you that video where they flew over me and shit? Did I ever show you that shit?
No, did they drop something on me?
Nah, yo, cause I didn't know how geese rock for real. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like taking pictures and shit. I had my stand and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a bunch of them there. And someone started taking pictures and taking videos and shit. They just flew over me. I was like, yo, they coming at me. But nothing happened to me. But I was like, from there on in, I was like, bruh, never again.
I think
will you experience that shit again?
Special Space said they smell your fear.
Huh?
They smell your fear.
Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. And I'm like, yo, it's bird.
There's nothing you can do.
What the fuck is a bird gonna do to me?
Yo, but
I forgot. Yo, it's a bunch of birds.
Dinosaurs. The baby dinosaurs.
Never forget.
Hey yo, y'all niggas keep out there and have a good time. I love y'all. Y'all know it, yo. I'll get back with y'all. I just wanted to tap in real quick.
All right, bro. Love you, man.
I love you too. Peace.
Bye, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Addy silly as shit. So Addy silly as shit. So where was I? Oh yeah, Young Dolph. I was not a fan of the music, not something I was interested in, but I saw a bunch of takes this week that aren't surprising. You know why? Because we see these takes all the time. What's up, Nessa?
Hey.
We were just talking about you earlier about how you will fuck Lord Jamal up rapping.
Fuck Lord Jamal up.
You'll fuck him up.
Easy. No contest.
It's not even close. Like clear him. 3-0. Clear.
Right.
But yeah, so I saw a bunch of takes that were the expected takes. And you know, I've kind of got out of the habit of addressing some of this stuff because certain things is ingrained here. Certain narratives is ingrained here. Certain things are like reflexes. People do automatically without even thinking about it, right? So one of the things that I saw was the usual, oh no, this is black on black crime again. When are we going to stop killing each other? All of these different things. I saw it both on the left and both on the right in the political spectrum. I've seen it both. Yeah. I've seen people on the right use that to try to discredit certain organizations. But if I was to ask them about the over 2,000 other organizations in this country that started by black people to combat that, they wouldn't know the name of not one of them, right? But because they don't know any of them, they no one's doing anything about that.
Right.
The thing that bothers me the most, right? Well, I'm just going to start at the beginning and just get some context to all of that. Young Dolph getting murdered in his neighborhood is a tragedy for his family and for his friends. But in the larger scope of things, the interpretation people are giving this is not what they think it is. At the risk of being redundant, but I haven't done this in a while, I'm just going to run off some numbers. All right. The 2018 U.S. Census Bureau estimates that there are 47,841,851 African Americans that live in the United States, which is 14.6 of the total American population of 327.2 million. This includes those who identify as Black only and as Black in combination with another race. So in 2017, 2 million Blacks were arrested. 5,025 of that number were arrested for murder. So that's 0.25% of all Blacks that were arrested. That's what that number is. Still with me. Let's put that in perspective, though. 5,025 of 47 million is only 0.01%. But I get it. You see these other numbers that go 97% of all, 94% of all Black people that are killed by other Black people without looking at the FBI statistics that show that all groups kill each other in a disproportionately more of an amount because they live in proximity to each other and proximity. All right. So what can't continue to be is that whenever there is a high profile, low profile, medium profile murder that involves some Black people anywhere, no matter what the circumstances is, the rest of the 47,836,826 who have either never been the problem or stopped being the problem a long time ago, somehow got a share in that blame. We can't keep doing that every time. That shit is absurd. So let's connect some dots. What was the question earlier? When are we gonna start killing each other? Well, let's talk about that. Just want to put this up on the screen real fast.
A skull?
Yes.
Okay.
Pull up on the screen real quick. So, evidence of 430,000-year-old human violence found. Apparently, human remains from a cave in northern Spain show evidence of a lethal attack 430,000 years ago, study has shown. Researchers examined one skull from a site called the Pit of Bones, which contains the remains of at least 28 people. They concluded that 2 fractures on the skull were likely to have been caused by multiple blows and implied intention to kill. The findings were published in this particular journal, PLOS ONE. As well as providing a clue as to why the bodies were in the cave, scientists say the study provides grisly evidence that violence is an intrinsic part of the earliest human culture. So when I go on Twitter, right, and hear people asking, when will we stop killing each other? Allow me to answer that question for you once and for all. Never. We will never stop killing each other. Humans have been killing one another ever since they climbed out the
since been pimping.
And probably before.
Well, facts, because
yes.
Well, no, they say prostitution is the oldest. I don't know. Chicken or egg, whichever one.
Listen. Despite what a bunch of early scientists, who surprisingly were not Black, have said about Africans having the defective hematosis of the blood conjoint with a deficiency of cerebral matter in the cranium and other literally thousands of debunked racist pseudo-scientific hogwash and, might I add, balderdash.
Even though Neanderthal and numbskull kind of go together.
Anyway, Black people are human. But this proclivity to constantly judge this whole community over the actions of 0.01% of us is worthy of pushback. Because that shit seems like it's hardwired. It's a narrative that won't go away. It literally gets pulled out every fucking time something happens in our community where somebody gets murdered. Hey, you're not going to stop the shit. You can slow it down. We've seen that it can be slowed down. As a matter of fact, I think violent crimes was on a 50-year low up until 2020. Up to 2020, it was a 50-year low. So, yeah, it can be slowed down, but it will never be stopped. So stop asking that stupid-ass question about when we're going to stop killing each other. Because here's the thing. People going to have beef. And typically, they're going to have beef with people they live close to. This is what it is.
Yeah. No, we can't hear you. Your audio went out. Yeah, you were talking.
I'm good.
And then you good now.
Yeah, like to to sum it up, stop trying to apply all of that shit that happens in 0.01% of the populace, but 47 million people. Just chill with that.
Well, no, you're essentially what it boils down to is you're asking black people to solve world peace.
Yeah, something we've never been able to. Yo, can you imagine? Yo, if we can figure out man's inhumanity to man,
right,
and bottle it and sell that shit,
bruh.
Come on, man. Like humans are violent monkeys. Y'all been shiving each other with spears and bashing each other over the head with bricks and boulders forever.
That's Boulder Dash.
You know what I'm saying? That's Boulder Dash. Yeah, I get. Yeah, see, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm just saying it's annoying, and it's a narrative that doesn't seem to want to. It's stubborn because there's a certain segment of the population that seem invested in making our community seem like it's other, it's somehow different, and these things smack of those old crusty narratives from people that most of the people using this stuff would not want to be attached to. They would not want to be attached. So stop using their arguments. Stop using their arguments. Poverty definitely increases the chance of there's going to be violent crime. It just is what it is. And as an example, before I moved to this neighborhood that I'm in now, I lived out in Laurel. The vast majority of the people that lived in Laurel, Maryland, in that section, Russet, where I lived at, were black middle and upper middle class. Guess what we didn't have around that neighborhood too much? Violent crime. It would happen, but it happens sparingly. You might hear about an incident once every 3-4 years. Oh, damn, that's crazy. So it's not a black thing as much as it's a societal norm when it comes to poverty. People in poverty-stricken areas that are competing for resources. Also, knowing from just my personal experience, and I had this conversation with my brother Marlon before about that. The reason why a lot of us react very badly to disrespect is because when you're poor and you have nothing else, the only thing you do own is your perception of how people view you out there. So the moment somebody disrespects you, they're literally trying to take the one thing from you that you have.
Yeah.
So you're going to react poorly to that, which is why, not proud to say it just is what it is, I will slap all shit out of you for certain types of disrespect because you're not taking that from me. Even though I'm no longer in that circumstance, that's kind of hardwired in me too from where I came from. That's all it is. Yes, we can slow it down. There are still a lot of things that we can actually do and should do, but let's slow down. Like I saw people going at different organizations like BLM. I see Bill. I'm like, yo, they're there for. They do have a very specific mission statement. There was an example I talked about earlier, SPJ.
They're not set to be the end all be all.
They're not set to be the end all be all of all issues. You don't go to an institution that is the main theme is we got to cure lung cancer and then cuss them out, call them all kinds of names because they're not working on bone cancer. Like,
right.
For those of you to think that there are no organizations out there inside the hood in these urban areas that are trying to stop the turn of this violence, you're wrong and uninformed. You're wrong and uninformed. But you're basing an opinion that black people don't care about black people's lives based off of what? When I just gave you the numbers.
Yeah.
By and large, black people don't kill each other. By and large, people don't kill each other now as much.
Yo, I gotta read this comment from Special Space. Bears fuck each other up. Deer fuck each other up. Squirrels fuck each other up. Geese fuck Eddie up. Oh wait, no, that's not what it. Okay, my bad. Hold up. I'm sorry, I've lost my place.
Yeah.
Bears fuck each other up. Deer fuck each other up. Squirrels fuck each other up. Geese fuck each other. Okay. All right.
It is what it is. That's where we at. Yeah. That's what we've always been at. It will never go away. Never, ever. Stop asking. Somewhere, somebody's either plotting the death of somebody or it was a crime of passion that happened in the moment. Some shit. Oh, you motherfucker. Back. You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Oh, shit, he hit his head. Like, somewhere that's happening. All right, and it will always be happening that way. Always.
Mm-hmm.
So cut it out. Cut it out. It's something that we are. It's something that we've always been, and unfortunately, it's something that probably is going to take us out. But that's just my take. At the end of the day, all of this will end in tears. All of this will end in tears.
Sure.
It is what it is.
Sure.
Deal with it. But yeah,
Right.
that's basically my rest of my week was pretty lame, boring. That's the one thing that stuck out this week that really annoyed me is that are we back on this again? Really? We back on this again? So I'm responsible because niggas killed a young Dolph. Me.
Apparently.
You too. We ain't doing enough apparently.
Nah.
All I'm doing is over here raising fucking kids. Yeah, I ain't doing enough. I ain't doing enough. Fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, how was your week?
No, listen. So I guess we start at the beginning with the car shit. Got the window fixed Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I was going to be late to work. Dude, my appointment, I hate when places do this, but I get why. The appointment had a big ass window. The appointment window was from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Why? Why is the window so large? But he actually ended up getting there at like 8:20.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because they plan on making your ass wait.
No, but he got there at 8:20. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I ended up technically late for work, but I'm pretty sure I got there early enough for it to not matter that I was late. So that was good. I still gotta get the fucking windows tinted. I'm gonna do that sometime. I gotta see because I want to go back to the place I got them tinted, but that was in 2006.
They might not even be still around.
I don't even know if they're still around.
All the businesses that went out of business in 2020.
How that go, yo? Yeah,
they might be out.
I don't know if they're still around. So I gotta renew my registration. Probably
late registration. Is it late?
No, it's not late. Probably gonna do that this coming week or the week after, since this coming week is Thanksgiving week. So probably the week after. And I want to get new tags too, because my tag I need to replace my tags. But after that, I'll be looking into getting my windows retinted because it looks stupid. It looks so dumb. The crazy thing is they actually gave me a darker window. So it doesn't look as bad as it could. It still doesn't look fishbowl like that one window.
Right.
But it's still pretty obvious that it's not tinted because it's not tinted. Anyway. Also, we got another letter from the president.
Oh shit.
Of the company.
Damn, I thought you was about to say Biden hit you up.
No.
Mad because we criticized
the vaccine mandate for our company is set to go into effect on January 6th.
January 6th. Whoa, stop.
That date sounds.
I'm really absorbing that.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
January 6th.
Something about
something happened.
Nah, I'm bugging.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't quite remember. I don't know, but yeah. That was I'm not going to read it. It's the same shit that she put in the other two.
So basically, now the person that you talked about last week has a decision to make before January 6th. Is that what you're talking?
Oh, there's a couple people that got decisions to make.
Okay.
I mean, and it is what it is.
Hey,
funny enough, the Trumpian that works for the company walked up to my boss yesterday, like, so basically anybody that's not vaccinated, they have to do weekly tests,
right?
And they have to submit their results to ADP, which is the company that does our payroll. So the Trumpian comes up to my boss like, well, what do we have to do to do the test? Where we go to do the test? Where we go to? And she like, it's in the letter. She's like, yeah, but how do we put our results into ADP? I looked and I couldn't find it. And my boss was like, because it's not there yet. She's like, oh, calm down.
Yeah, you might want to relax a little bit. Just relax.
It's January 6th. It's not December yet. Calm down.
Right.
Like, relax. If you would have got the fucking shot, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Right.
But anyway, remember, I'm sorry. I'm not fussing about that anymore because the song is released. I know nothing.
You released the song, you know nothing.
iTunes, Apple Music, not YouTube yet. It's on a bunch of things that I don't remember, but it's Bandcamp. Yeah, it's on those things. So yeah, that's that. Let me see. Weirdos not letting Logic follow through with their technophobia. Here's something I always found interesting.
Why they gotta be weirdos?
Because it's
2021. And
mainly that's the main reason.
In tech.
Here's the thing.
You can literally come out tech. Like you bring it's everything.
This is the one. This is the one that I saw this week. Y'all really use the backup cameras in y'all cars? What y'all gonna do if it stop working? Number one, the answer is get it fixed. But number two, let's extrapolate that train of thought. Y'all really getting these vehicles in drive? What you gonna do if it don't start?
Yo, I can't believe you really have indoor plumbing. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that?
You guys are fucking ridiculous, and it bothers me. Why are you so scared of technology? And I'm not talking about the Terminator sense of things.
I'm not talking about killer AI coming to stop us all.
I'm talking about basic advancements in improving people's livelihoods.
Yeah.
Why is it any different if I go to put my car in reverse and instead of having to try to figure out through my mirrors what's happening, I can just look at my center and see a live video in HD?
Yeah.
Why is that an issue for y'all? And I know why it is. And it actually leads me to my next point. The reason that that's an issue is because of this age thing that I hate with all of my soul. I swear, this might be my number one pet peeve now. This idea that the things that happen in your prime in that time period are the best things have ever been. They will never be any better. They should not have changed. All this other bullshit.
It's bullshit, yo. It's
bullshit. Which leads me to the big thing. This generational gang mentality is annoying as fuck. And some of you listening are guilty of it. And here's the thing. It's tribal. It's tribalism at its worst. Well, not its worst.
Not its worst, but it's definitely tribal.
But it's a terrible example of tribalism. I saw this. I think I have the screenshot. Now I want anybody that hears this to know that right now I am not attacking any person. Right now, when I'm attacking a person, you'll know.
Right.
But right now, I am not attacking any person.
That's been everywhere though. I've seen that shit everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere. So let me read this. Let me read this post. I am Generation X. Anyone who was born between 1965 and 1979. We are the last generation that played outside till dark. False. We are the first to play video games and the last to record songs off the radio onto cassette tape. False.
Yeah.
We loved roller skating on Friday and Saturday nights. So did we. We survived the 80s.
I didn't like that shit.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I am getting to that. All right, trust me, I'm getting to that. We survived the 80s with big hair and the era of extravagant everything. We took walks with friends.
What does that even mean, yo?
First of all,
what does that part even mean?
Wait. First of all, if you were born in 1979, yeah, you technically survived the 80s, but no, because when they ended, you were 10. Like, that's like, stop. Anyway, let me continue. We took walks with friends without worry of being taken. We watched cartoons on Saturday mornings while eating a bowl of cereal. Mind you, I helped raise some of my little cousins. Guess what they were doing on Saturday mornings?
Tying their shoes?
No, eating cereal and watching cartoons.
Oh, okay.
You know,
it's a Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah, bruh. Fox Kids was a thing. Anyway, we programmed the VCR before anyone else. We remember learning how to use a computer for the first time. We played Atari and Nintendo. We are the generation of Soul Train. I watched it. Gilligan's Island. I watched it. Dukes of Hazzard. Nah, I didn't watch that one. Scooby-Doo. I watched it. Charlie's Angel, Wonder Woman, Little House on the Prairie, Happy Days, watched it. Good Times, watched it. We traveled in cars without seatbelts or airbags. So
that is the dumbest.
You're
bragging about that?
You're bragging about that? Okay, all right. Damn, I wish Eddie was here so I can reference that one song that we always reference because nobody's going to get it when I make the joke now. Damn it. I'm gonna reference it anyway, just in case Eddie's listening. No, bitch, we don't believe in airbags. All right. So let me see. Rode in the backs of pickups and lived without cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone until I was in a high school. Let me see. We did not have flat screens, surround sound, iPads, Facebook, and Twitter, but we had a great time all the time with each other. We are definitely a different breed. No, the fuck you're not. And here's the thing.
I'm Generation X, and I'm here to tell you right now, we didn't, you know, the crack and all that crack shit.
All that.
Wasn't a good time.
Wasn't a good time. Now, on top of that, facts, sis.
That's a fact. Put it up there. Put it up there.
Child abduction was a heavy panic in the 80s. Where's this coming from? I'm gonna get to it, sis. Trust me, I'm gonna get to it. All right, so I commented on this because Cyrus the Virus, shout out to Cyrus. He commented on this first, and he was like, "It's funny how people do these things, and millennials did quite a bit of what is said in here." Here's what this particular thing is, in my opinion, just my theory. Because I always look and try to figure out why people believe what they believe. In this instance, I believe what it is this is an idea, not even saying the person who wrote this,
right?
But this idea comes from people in a position of privilege. Why is that? Because when the new hotness comes out, when there's a new idea, when there's a new invention, when there's a new release, guess who gets to use it first? The people with money, the people with connections. And the third group of that is the people who are forward thinkers. Sure. Here's the thing. When you say we are the last to record songs off the radio onto a cassette tape, that is categorically false. Growing up, I had radios that had cassette tapes. Why is that? It's not that CDs didn't exist.
They did.
It's that they were so astronomically expensive that my family couldn't afford them at the time.
Also, most people I knew did not have a CD burner. I had a CD burner because I had a studio and I needed to burn my music on CDs.
I got one when I got a full computer.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. That's how most people got theirs.
Exactly.
At that point in time. Right.
So this whole thing, it's a couple other things on here. The whole cars, seatbelts, airbags. They didn't just stop making cars without seatbelts and airbags. Right. They were still being made for a certain amount of time after seatbelts and airbags came out.
There was a lot
of if you couldn't afford that higher echelon of car, you still had to go with the one that had no seatbelt and no airbag. This is how that goes. All right, so let's move on. Because it's a lot. The second one is something that the actual post, there are facts behind it. Here's the post. My parents bought their house in 1992 for $200,000. It's now worth like $1.2 million. I make more than they did back then, and I can't buy a house, but rent is more than their mortgage was. The response is, you summarized the millennial struggle in 2 sentences. Now, the same person posted this that posted the other one, and I didn't want it to feel like I was attacking them, so I didn't comment on this one.
Right.
But the response was to the effect of, it's not just a millennial problem. You guys need to stop claiming all the world's issues is only yours. Here's the thing about that. In no way, shape, or form is that original post saying that this is only an issue that has happened to millennials. Right. What they're saying is, in general, this is what happened. We're not talking about somebody who had extenuating financial issues. We're not talking about someone who had extenuating health issues. We're not talking about any of that. And let me go to why. Where we at? I have it up here. Here we go. Median sales price of houses sold in the United States in 2000, $167,550. So 170,000, right? Mm-hmm. Median sales price of houses sold in 2020, $336,000. There's a huge difference. Now, average median household income in the United States.
Talk about it.
2000, $59,000, basically 60 because it's 59,938.
Right. That's before taxes, by the way.
That is before taxes, yes. And in 2020, 67,000. Has it gone up? Sure. Has it doubled like the house has?
Or as most expenses have.
Right.
The cost of living is far exceeded the pay.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
it's just that when you see a word like millennial in there, you get triggered because of this tribalism that's going on. All that this original post is saying is, back then, it was more cost efficient to achieve basically the American dream than it is for people growing up now. That is all it's saying.
Right.
And that is factual. There was no question about that. Here's the other thing. So if we are going to say that Gen X is, and nobody actually ever has the exact numbers on these because it's all, there's another reason for that I'll get to. So if we're going to say that Gen X is 65 to 79, right? We actually go a little bit beyond that because, like I said, there are no really hard caps because the beginning of millennials tend to fluctuate anywhere between 81 and 85 or something like that. So another thing with the tribalism that might not seem fair to some people, and I get it. You hear millennials rag on boomers most. Not Gen X most. No. Boomers most.
They don't.
You Gen Xers should not bag on millennials most. And here's why. You fucking raised us.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was sitting there.
You're our parents. If your generation is so great,
why you translate that over to the millennials? Y'all must have been
unless the point you're making is your generation is so great, except for when it comes to raising children. Well, nobody's gonna say that. Nobody.
Listen. I seem to recall when I was between 13 and 17, quite a bit of my friends had children. Listen, I'm telling you. You're not telling me that these are some of the best friends. I'm not trying to hear it. They was babies having babies.
Right. All facts.
There was a lot of that happening when I was growing up. And, so much so.
That is not a recent phenomenon.
No. But it was happening so much. And me, yours truly, the dead man, Lord of Entropy, was once castigated for not having one.
Oh yeah.
For waiting till I was 28. You know, a grown ass man to have a kid.
Right.
I had a friend tell me once when I was dating this girl. He just had a kid, and my other homeboy just had a kid. my producer just had to. But I know if she get pregnant, you're gonna be happy, right? No. I'm a kid.
Yep.
I am a kid. Don't want a kid.
Right.
You don't want
right. That. Absolutely. All right. So let's go further. So if you're saying that the cap for Gen X is somewhere between 79 to 81, and the beginning for millennials is somewhere between 81 and 85. Guess what that also means? There are a bunch of millennials and Gen Xers who share the same exact upbringing and values and experiences and culture and society. So guess what? It's not really what you guys are saying it is.
Plus, I'm a Gen Xer. As far as the category is concerned, I gotta say, Gen Xers birth littles and youngs. So listen, let's calm that shit down. All right. Let's calm that down a little bit. All right.
It's so annoying. Stop, guys. Like, why? It's bordering astrology at this point.
Listen.
It's bordering
astrology. There has been a lot of different examples or comparisons that I've seen that hits right on the
like, y'all stop it. Y'all get and Hit Dog's gonna holler. Whoever this applies to, I'm talking to you. Y'all get on these platforms, these social medias, talk about how crazy and stupid astrology is, and then next minute we see you talk about, well, I'm Gen X or I'm a millennial, so I have to. No, that's not how that shit works. We are talking about general observations that people use based on things that happen in society, not necessarily based on people's reaction to them. And it's a thing for marketers. It doesn't really affect any other aspect of life in that way. I see this one fucking... Go ahead. I got
First of all, how dare you? How dare you say that they shouldn't come on social media with that when they're already on social media with all the other bullshit?
Yo, I don't know if that was on purpose or by mistake. I think he knocked his camera out. That was a perfect timing, though. So I ain't even like, I don't know what happened. He broke it, but let me get to this. Let me get to this article. Gen Z makes up about 25% of the workplace, but do most of the complaining. What are we? The oldest members of Generation Z turned 25 this year, and they currently make up 1/4 of the U.S. workforce. And they're also gaining a reputation for generating the majority of workplace complaints. It is a source of growing frustration among many of my fellow human resource professionals that the youngest people in offices tend to bring grievances and misunderstandings, no matter how minor, to the desk of HR. One HR director recently told me, we stopped offering free soda and you would think we imposed a pay cut. The complaints from the juror staff to HR were unreal. They act more entitled than anyone else. Another HR executive shared, we had an employee who wasn't performing well and was given a performance improvement plan. The next day, I got a call from reception that the employee's mother was there to see HR. She had brought a binder along with what she felt were performance examples to dispute the company's assessment of their child. This generation, she added, seems to allow parental oversight enablement for a much longer period than previous ones. Maybe it's a result of those participation trophies. There was a time when millennials were criticized for being too sensitive in the workplace, but the eldest members of Gen Y are now well into adulthood and pushing 40, old enough to be covered by age discrimination laws. Millennials still have more in common with their junior counterparts than with the older Gen X crowd. They both grew up in the digital age and are more comfortable with technology and more motivated by work that does societal good. But attitudes evolve as people age. And one thing millennial and Gen X managers share is their frustration with their Gen Z workers. We had an employee complain to HR that they were being bullied. One frustrated millennial manager confessed to me. Why? Because their manager told them that flexibility didn't mean they could just make their own hours and be offline whenever it suited them. Instead, they had to discuss their schedule with their manager and be reachable during the company's core working hours. That apparently is bullying. Perhaps Gen Z's behavior in the workplace is not surprising. This youngest generation is the most diverse, most educated, most progressive, and most pro-government in history. According to Pew Research, 70% of Gen Zers say the government should do more to solve problems rather than businesses and individuals. In short, they want a higher power to intervene and fix their problems. There's so much failed in this art. I'm not even going to finish the art.
Thinking that too, because one, like that.
Basically, what you're saying is this newer generation is more willing to call y'all out on y'all corporate bullshit. Is what I'm hearing. Because they have generations before them and they've observed what has happened. And they're like, all right, no, we don't like that. Then the millennials.
We don't like how this ended. We don't like
and
how
we see how the millennials are treated by that same structure. And they said, no, they started pushback and they still didn't get what they want. Fuck that. We're not going to be like that.
Yo,
that's called progression.
I had this conversation before with other folks, and I was like, you got to understand that you have been conditioned to see work a certain type of way. You have been conditioned to see employment a certain type of way. You have been conditioned that way on purpose by the corporations and politicians to see certain things certain way, to see the 8-hour work day. You've been conditioned. That's why it's become a norm to you. So because it's become a norm, you think it's axiomatic. That's how things have to be in order for us to have a society. And no, that's not true. That's part of the lie. And part of the problem, what news outlet is that article from?
Hold on. Let me double check. I closed it because I was tired of that bullshit.
Was it a big one that somebody would recognize?
Oh, New York Post.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah,
fits right into my commentary. Part of the problem that's happening is that these news outlets are big corporations themselves. So if you think they don't have a point of view, you're bugging.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's bad because, so say Exxon, right? Big corporation.
Exxon Valdez.
They have a point of view, right? They have a point of view. Difference between them and New York Post is that Exxon doesn't have a publication that's supposed to be there to informing the people. This is the same issue. Facts. This is the same issue you have with cable news. Cable news, they're all part of big corporations, and these corporations have a point of view. The bottom line is the profit margin for them. The bottom line is what they think helps their company. So they get these people, these puppets, these fresh, well-groomed puppets on their little in front of their camera, spewing certain things. And this is where discernment has to come in. Because when you hear these people saying certain things, you need to have educated yourself enough to be able to pick out the kernels of corn from the bullshit that they over there doing. Because I have caught them on numerous times. Like, this is a corporate point of view. This is a corporate point of view. When they start going in on how, oh no, the problem is these employers are just lazy. Y'all got to get back to work. That's a corporate point of view going on there. They say, oh no, we can't possibly raise salaries because that's going to do blah blah blah. That's corporation. They don't want to raise their salaries because they don't want to spend that money. When they get up there and rail against taxing these big corporations, think about where that's coming from. That's coming from a corporation that's in the business of spinning narratives and giving to the people as news. This is news.
Yeah,
you're not slick.
Also, lastly, because I could go on about this all day, but lastly, stop being fucking old people. Here's what I mean when I say that. I
always say, then don't be old people.
No. It's not a solution. It's not a solution. It's not a solution. Y'all hear me all the time rag on Tim about being old, right? That's simply age. I'm not talking about age in this case.
Right.
I'm talking about stop getting old, ornery, calloused, fucking complaining. Because here's what it is.
It's not
you guys are fundamentally broken. You have to be a special space says get off my lawn. you have to be a fundamentally broken person to complain about the fact that since you had it hard, everyone else should have it just as hard.
Right.
That is talk about crab in a barrel. That is some fucked up shit. You need to seek help.
It is, but this is the other thing that's broken too. And just on the other side of that equation, I'm gonna get with music. I don't have the tolerance after I had to get on 3 buses to get to a studio, spend $50 and then still not be seen by anybody once you put the music out because you can only afford to go to these little clubs that only see certain people. Also, I come from Baltimore, so it's not like the music capitals of the world was all hustling their ass down there, which means I had to leave the city to go someplace to spend more money to hear somebody complain to me about how hard it is to get known on in this era of the internet when you literally spend less than $5,000 on equipment and can just put your shit up on the. Man, I wish I had it back.
Let me explain the difference. No. Let me explain the difference. No, that's an accurate complaint. That's not the same thing I'm talking about. What you're talking about isn't just a product of the times. You're talking about something that's a geological issue. You're talking about something that's a monetary issue. So that's different. Complain about specific things. Let me be clear about that. Complain about specific things all the fuck you feel like. If you feel like you were wronged about something or you feel like somebody is disproportionately complaining about something,
you know what?
Absolutely respond.
Basically, my complaint on that is that you're not taking advantage.
Right.
All of the new shit, this new shit is cool. Exactly. And you're not taking advantage of with them. That's different. That's different than them saying, I can't believe y'all got it this good now. And this, that, that. Y'all shouldn't have that. Nah, B. Yes, we should.
Back in my day, I had to do this and this and this and this and that. Yeah. Y'all shouldn't be able to just do this.
Yes, they should. Yes,
the fuck they should. That's exactly how life is supposed to work.
Yeah, like, nah, B. No, yes, they should.
Back in my day, we walked 45 miles to work in our bare socks. And when we got there, all we got was a drink of water and no break. And we worked for 15 hours.
A cap full of water.
And we worked for 15 hours. How dare they come in here and want hour-long lunch breaks?
Yeah, you're right. They're bugging.
What is wrong with you?
They're bugging.
What are you talking about?
They're bugging.
Get the hell out of my face.
Because again, the idea that you wouldn't want better, especially if you got kids and nephews and nieces and little cousins, you don't want better for them. So they don't have, how ass that was.
Right.
You want them, me personally, I don't want my daughter to have to do half of the thing. I don't want my son to have to do. And thankfully, he hasn't had to do.
Yeah.
75% of the shit I thought I had to do, let alone the things that I actually had to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Yeah. Get.
But as far as being old and crotchety, it comes to all of us, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, in different ways.
Yeah, I told my son and his friend that we living in law. We was cleaning out the garage. He was there with his homeboy Rashad. By the way, Rashad is a dope artist. Goes by stage name Techlon. He's been doing this thing for quite a while as a producer. He be everywhere in Europe, all over the place. He managed this. He spent the weekend over the house, and we was cleaning out the garage once. And they was laughing, giggling. I said, you know why old people was grumpy? Because we seen it all. See, to you, a lot of these conversations you had amongst yourself, that's new. It's not new to us. And there's a lot of the same mistakes and foolishness we see. And when you start saying bullshit over and over again, it gets annoying. You know how I know that's going to be
triggering?
Because I see how you react to the dumbass shit that's constantly being pumped online from stupid motherfuckers saying the stupidest shit ever. I see that look.
Absolutely.
And there was a time
that's me now.
A hyena about that. Where this motherfucker, let me go and put this motherfucker. You may not be grumpy about the same things these dumb fucks is being grumpy about, but you gonna be grumpy as fuck.
Nigga, I'm already.
They not getting smarter. They not getting. I know they not getting smarter. B, they not getting smarter. I know they not, because when I was your age, look at my post. They're not getting smarter. They're not. They're not.
That's when we come to this existential drain. Like, it's profound sadness.
It's a profound sense of sadness. They aren't getting smarter. Ain't that a bitch? Yes, new technology. We disseminate information, and you know how that saying they like to throw around now. Damn, you woke up this morning and chose violence. They wake up every morning and choose idiocy. They choose it.
That's a fact.
Because it's not that the knowledge is not out there to get. It's not that it's less accessible. It's way more accessible than it's ever been. I spend a large chunk of my day every time I run into oh shit, I don't know how to do that. Let me. So the knowledge is, they're choosing idiocy. They're choosing that shit. So I figure by the time you're 52.
No, I keep telling you, it's here. It's here now.
Oh no,
this is the reason we haven't been doing fucking articles.
Yeah, because it's
here now. Incidentally, we do have articles today, but still, this is the reason we have not been doing articles. It's here now. No, we have reached the end game.
Yo,
like
man has said smartphones dumb people. Special Space says, like complaining no more free soda. Son, if that's what you're mad at, you're gonna have a long, shitty life. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Maybe because why can't I still complain about the free soda?
Because
realistically,
because typically, if you don't see all this other function.
No.
It's not that if you saw the free soda in combination.
I'm talking about specifically in my work. So, all right, not me. I happen to be the fucking anomaly. Apparently, nobody else likes their job. So I get that. But what I'm saying is, for somebody else who happens to be generally pleased at their job, and something goes up. As a matter of fact, it did kind of happen with me. But anyway, regardless, we're not talking about somebody that's generally pleased at their job. And see, here's the thing. Regardless of that, it sounds stupid because we're talking about soda, right? But if you apply it to something else, the same principle applies. If you get someone used to something and you take it away from them, it is arithmetic that it becomes a complaint. That is not a, oh, you're privileged. Oh,
I have
you're
a solution though. I do have a solution.
What up?
Stop getting
water. I mean, that's
stop it.
physically impossible.
Cut it out. Stop it. Don't do it.
Physically,
stop it.
Impossible.
Don't do it.
It's physically. Well, no, actually, there's one way. The same way you stop from getting old.
You know me. I tell niggas all the time. There is a solution to your problem.
Yeah, you could just not get old.
Just don't get old.
I'd rather not take that route. I'm good. I'm fine. But like I said,
because
you
suck.
Like I said, some people are. That is incorrect. what the fuck? I just literally talked about whatever. People are specifically focusing on the fact that it's soda and something that is not necessary for life.
Yes.
That is
I think that's
the point.
No, it's not the point, but I will say this. If that's all you have to
But
complain.
no one ever said that. That's an assumption being made by the people that are complaining about the people complaining about
said if.
Right, but
That's
there's
why I
no
said
so if to borrow a phrase from Rex, if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. It's like it's irrelevant to the conversation. As long as here's a hot take. Here's a hot take that I just considered. In an argument, when you start having to introduce ifs, you have run out of the actual argument. That is my feeling.
That's true. That's
no, it's not a it's not an absolute.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's not absolute.
However, qualifiers exist for a reason.
Yes, but
people use qualifiers because they know that the person, especially when they know the person they're talking to.
Yeah,
because people use qualifiers to me all the time.
Right.
Because they know if I'm going to be trolly or ass about this and not really take this part of the conversation seriously, I'm going to pull the fact that you didn't use the qualifier.
Right. No, I get that. But that's the point that I'm making. You wouldn't have room to do that if I still had a valid argument. And you notice what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
If you wouldn't have room to say that if I still had a valid argument.
Basically,
if I still had a valid argument, you couldn't say to me, "Oh, you didn't say if." No, because there is no if. This is what happened. These are the facts on the ground. This is what's going.
The reason they're saying that to you is that what they're really saying to you, as opposed to what they actually said, is calm down, bring it down 1,000. This is not you're getting worked up over something that is not you. That stress that you putting on yourself now to work, it's not worth the hassle and the health problems that come with it. You too.
Yo, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons millennials don't go to work. Because that here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is another one of those things.
They do.
This is another one of those things, which is actually my last point about it that I forgot. It was supposed to be like point number 2.
My daughter work every time she does.
Right.
My son, when he's
this shit is not real. We're basing this stuff on anecdotes. That's all we're basing it on. Because there's no study that is encompassing enough to actually be able to say, well, millennials do this. I saw another study that says something to the effect of millennials. 1/3 of all millennials are identified as LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm. I know you hate that.
So fucking infuriating.
I know you hate that.
That is so fucking infuriating. Why? 2 reasons. The sample size was 600 people. Second reason is they included 18-year-olds. People from 18 to, I can't remember I think they used 18 to 35 or something like that. Those are not millennials. Gen Z starts around 2012 or so. So if you're 18 now, you're not a millennial. And these are the type of things that I'm talking about. This is what happens. Somebody will see that headline.
Yes.
Who already has a bias against people in the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
And will conflate that with a millennial.
Yes.
And then they will see something that 18 to 23-year-olds do.
Yes.
And they will say, them goddamn millennials. And now, forever and ever, amen, henceforth, that is headcanon for them that millennials do this. When in the first fucking place, they were not millennials. And the came from a study of 600 people. You understand how hard, not you, clearly you, of course you do. You understand how horrible a 600-person case study is to try to get the flow of the entire country?
Yo, you know how often
600 people, you can go
about that? about sample size.
I can do a case study.
When I hear guys talking about women, and I go, "Can I ask you a question, bro? In your neighborhood, what's the percentage of women you actually know and talk in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood, what's the percentage of it, bro?"
Yo, I can do a case study if that's all we got to do to have a case study that gives us the percentages of something. I can do a case study that says that all of Black people live in Baltimore, Maryland.
Right. It can get more ridiculous than that. If I just do a case study of my house, all Black people have been vaccinated.
It's like, yo, what?
Case study real quick.
Because I saw the headline and I'm like,
this be science.
I saw the headline and I'm like, there is no way. I stumbled across it while I was already building this case, and I'm like, there's no way. What? Huh? How? Yeah. I gotta find out how they got to this conclusion. I need to find out.
You know what I think the real issue is? That is the over-encompassing problem. This is why I find it hilarious. And this is one of the moments where I start to feel like a cosmic being. All these motherfuckers trying to separate themselves into these little pockets that they think aren't ass. I'm not ass. I'm not ass because I'm this. I'm not ass because I'm that. And I'm sitting looking at all of you apes and saying, all of you are ass. All of you. All of you.
You are all human.
You are all human and you are all trash. We can play that dumbass game about, well, I am in this set, so I am not ass. I am in this group. So fuck off. What? Really? No, you're an ape. You're an ape. And all these little artificial things demographic things that you use to separate that shit is just you trying to escape the fact that you are a disagreeable, belligerent ape. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So you can sit there all day long and go, they're worse than me because blah, blah, blah. He's worse than me because this group is worse than me. You still suck. You still suck.
Yo, let me look at some of these comments real quick. Special Space says, if is okay when it's a probable if. Here's the problem with that statement. What the fuck does probable mean? Because no, I don't.
You know
I do not. Because the reason I don't is because in what scenario are we to be the arbiters of what's probable? Like when we no. I
give you one.
Fine.
If you
wait. In a scenario where we're talking about people we don't know personally.
Yes.
Okay.
Got you. You say I didn't know you. Didn't know you.
No, we're not doing hypotheticals for this. That's the whole problem. But the whole problem is the word if. We're not doing hypotheticals.
If somebody,
you started the sentence with the word if.
No, you said probable.
No. Listen. What I'm saying.
Probable if, whether you like it or not, or intertwined.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. He says, if it's okay when it's a probable if. Mm-hmm. How do
something
you
that's most likely that could happen? In other words, is what he said.
Right. Yes. How do you determine that's the case with individuals who are not prone to any of these fucking stereotypes given to groups of people?
Though.
That's what I'm saying. So let's go back to the soda example.
Right.
When we're talking about people that we don't know at a company we don't know, whose policies we don't know.
Right.
How can you say it's probable for them to have the only complaint be the soda?
No, but I don't think that's what they mean when they say that. Like, I really don't think they actually mean that must be the only problem you got. I think what they're saying is relax. If that's all you got to worry about, you good. Relax.
But you don't know in which way they were complaining. So relax may not be applicable.
True. But if they're complaining about soda, I don't know. If I went to the person, so all right, so at my job we used to have we used to have a luncheon every week for the birthdays. COVID happened, that stopped because it can't have everybody in the same place. Right.
Also, at some point they stopped doing sodas. That's why I said what I said earlier. Like it actually kind of did happen with me. Now, I personally don't care because I don't really have a thing for soda like that. Like I'll drink it every now and then, but it's
fuck with it.
I drink water most of the time. Me too. So it didn't really bother me. But if someone went up to the person who organizes the luncheons and was like, "Hey, why don't we do soda anymore?" Particularly if that person, you just got some amazing food, didn't you?
This is not food. This guy's ass.
Okay. No, your face, your eyes, I had to, you never know with you.
Yo, so this just in.
Mm-hmm.
President Joe Biden on Friday temporarily transferred power to Vice President Kamala Harris while he was under anesthesia for a routine colonoscopy. For 1 hour and 25 minutes. For 1 hour and 25 minutes, Kamala
Harris
was
the
first
president. That's funny. That's
the first
funny.
president.
Wow. That's crazy. Hold up.
Shit like that.
So, damn it. Okay. So, for instance, I work at a small company. So, at my small company, people tend to do multiple things.
That's
right?
probably why you like your job. The probability.
Absolutely.
Probability, if you like your job, increases when it's a smaller company.
Increases exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
So multiple people have multiple roles that they do. So let's say the HR director is the person that plans
multiple roles.
Multi-world. Let's leave it there and not talk about food.
Role.
If you go to the person that's organizing the luncheons who happens to be an HR person at the same time, and you say to them, "Hey, I noticed we don't do soda anymore. Could we start doing that again?" That's officially a complaint. That's not something anybody needs to relax from because there was no ampage involved in it.
Right.
You just simply asked the question or had a request.
Well, yeah, you're a douchebag if you say to a guy who just expressed that like that. That's all you gotta worry about. No, I'm talking about somebody that's wigging the fuck out.
And that's my question. That's my question. What evidence do we have that anybody was wilding out at all? All we see is a complaint was made when the free soda stopped that they wanted.
Oh, so it's not like somebody was there to witness the.
No, it was the article. There is no. All right, so more comments. I thought millennials started in like 81. It's a fuzzy thing from like 81 to 85 or something like that. Someone says.
I feel like though this
should
still not be that fuzzy though. I feel like
it probably shouldn't, but here's the thing. This is what I always thought.
Numbers, right? Like,
this is what makes sense to me. This is what makes sense to me. The millennial should be the people that were born that reach adulthood in the new millennium. That's what made sense to me, given the name.
So the issue here is definitions.
Yes, it's always the issue. That is 95%. What you got to say? Any conversation is based on you understanding the terms.
I had to understand the Greek terms. Yeah.
That's all it is. Let me see. More comments. Identity politics is like the hot topic. Guffs. I'm different. I'm not a conformist. But you are. You conform to a style of dress. All right. Yeah, but that's nitpicky. Probability is in mass, not per individual. Individuals are irrelevant in probability. Yeah, but we're talking about the probability that an individual is doing something at any given time. You have to have more factors than just knowing that they exist do that. Clearly, because you're humans. No, I get that. I get the joke. I get the joke. But what I'm saying, anyway, I came in mid-talk. What are you two talking about? Basically, this generational tribalism is stupid, and you should feel bad if you participate.
It's escapism.
It's escapism. Also, it's astrology. It's delusion. It's all those things. It's all. If you think under millennials are so after the boomers, you have Gen X. Mm-hmm. Gen Y is millennials.
Right.
Gen Z is under millennials.
Right. But if you think that somebody that's in Generation X, such as myself, has never worked on a job with some lazy ass Gen Xers or
of course,
you're bugging. This is escapism and it's delusion.
That's the point. Right. That's the point. The idea, and one of those comments is in here. Something about Gen Z is lazy. No, that's not how this works. You have right. You don't have the correct sample size.
And also the people, I gotta say, we said this before about these corporations basically in the business of agenda shaping.
Yeah.
A lot of that because they're not getting what they want. Because there's workers who watched their mom, their grandmothers, all of them go through this bullshit at the workplace. They watched that shit and they said, yo, it's got to be a better way than that, or certain things I personally am not putting up with. And when you got enough people saying that, that's when you have a movement of people saying, y'all need to be paying us more. Y'all need to be giving us more benefits, blah, blah, blah. Now, why wouldn't a corporation want that? I'll tell you why. Because it costs them money. So, of course, it's in their best interest to spew narratives about how lazy these people are because they won't accept the truth. Can you imagine how companies at the turn of the century, before they had child labor laws, can you imagine how their a narrative would be about child workers? These lazy ass children won't work 15 hours a day.
Absolutely. Yo, you gotta think about it. You and I are in the I want to say fortunate, but actually it's probably unfortunate position that we are observers.
That's unfortunate.
But when we see an issue,
that's unfortunate.
We don't stare at the issue. The general behavior is you see an issue, you step back.
Yes, there was, man, Beast.
All right, what's going on?
What's going on around it?
What's going on here?
What's informing it?
Anytime that you use the word lazy to describe a person that you have no idea about, then you have to think about privilege. You have to think about what they were handed. You have to think about there's all different societal aspects. So when you try to boil that down to what year a person was born,
I think it's jaundice.
That's lazy.
Also, Manabeast, when he said, was there like a whole propaganda push back against labor unions? Not only was it, it still is.
Yeah,
it's because when I worked at the Phillips Seafood Warehouse, unions came up there. Unions absolutely came up there, and you know what wound up happening? The company did everything in its power to create narratives against it, to entice workers not to sign the thing. Even went as far as penalizing people by, okay, once this whole thing is done, the ones that signed that paper, we firing them. We getting them out of here. So the pushback didn't stop with back then. It's still going on now. It's still going on now. And don't get me wrong, as somebody who's been in the workforce for a while, for some years, since I was 16, right? There are definitely situations where the unions, depending on how that union is run, does not benefit the employee. That's a thing that happens. But overall and large, like labor unions are usually good for the worker. But the problem is we in this crazy space where what's good for the worker is seen as being something bad for the employee. And that is a crazy space to be in, because typically what you would want to have is one hand wash the other, right? We both benefit from each other. Right, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's now labeled as, or if the workers get something, that means everybody else takes a loss. This is the same mentality that, by the way, this mentality is not just amongst the rich and the wealthy. You'll find this mentality amongst the working class. I've seen the working class spew all of these talking points that corporations have, because I think some of them believe that at some point in their life, they're going to run a giant corporation and make billions and billions of dollars. So they're trying to make sure that those laws benefit them up there. So when they get up there, I'm thinking that's what's going on, right? But I have seen
it has to be.
I have seen on these news shows, get up there and spew the dumbest stuff and basically call the American people lazy. Now, I'm the first person to tell you the American people are stupid, but you will never hear me call the American people lazy because worker productivity has increased.
A person is lazy. In general, people are not lazy.
Right.
That is just not how that works. Like, there's no argument that you could ever give me to try to make me change my mind on that.
Right.
A person, absolutely. I'm lazy as fuck. I would also openly and freely admit it.
It also depends on what.
But it depends on your definition, right?
Right. The task is
because all the shit that I do, I do.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. So it's dangerous. It's lazy. It is it's extremely short to just call a group of people lazy. Like,
but
it's
you
just
know what it is, yo. It's like I said before. When I would hear dudes go in on women this and women that, I would always ask them, how many women do you know just in your neighborhood? Because I guarantee you that percentage, unless you're some sort of a gadfly, that percentage is low as fuck. So if you can't even give me a good sample size from your neighborhood, you damn sure not giving me a good sample size as far as the city, and you damn sure not giving me a good sample size as far as the state or the country or globally.
Right.
No,
there's no way.
That's short.
Like, we find it, in my opinion, and this ain't for everybody. This isn't an attack to anybody either. But we tend to find ways to make ourselves feel better. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to put somebody else down.
Yeah, that's how that
works.
It's
just that simple. If I had to do back-breaking work to achieve the little bit that I have, if the next person isn't doing the same amount of work that I've done, they're lazy automatically.
Right.
And that's just not fair. Man B says, what constitutes lazy? Is a woman who stays at home and takes care of a child lazy because she ain't at a job making money? That's essentially
that's a good point.
Right into the point that we're saying.
Good point.
I will approve that one all day, every day.
Cats is lazy as shit.
I can give you that. I can give you that. Your house. No, listen to me. You're not going to hear me argue about your sentence. I know what the vibes are.
Like,
I know what the vibes
are. But again, this is, like, I think, just my personal opinion, that the pull to do this comes from a form of escapism, where people are trying to escape what they are and make themselves feel better. Well, at least I'm not that. At least I'm not them. At least I'm not this. But know what you are? An ape. Certain things inherent with apes you have. So you can sit there all day long and point your finger at that group over there, and that group over there, and that group over there. I've watched a lot. Many of you. And this is also the good thing about the internet. Internet helps with sample size. Because you still can't go off of behavior, but you can go off of opinions. If you're seeing literally thousands of opinions that are dumb as fuck, you're going, damn, that's a huge amount of opinions.
No, believe that. Believe that.
That's stupid as fuck.
Please take that as your sample size.
Yeah, like that. That's at the very least, you can say it is reasonable to argue that at least the majority of these people believe what they're saying.
Hold on. Special Space says, I'll be lazy, looking for easy ways and shortcuts. I want the path of least resistance. Sometimes it lands me in shitty situations. Sometimes it benefits. Now, here's the question that I have existentially. So, water and electricity are lazy?
Yes.
That's the point. That's being made. Water and electricity are lazy.
They would be lazy.
One of the defining characteristics of water and electricity are they go for the path of least resistance.
Yes, and so they're not lazy because they're not conscious of.
But is it lazy? It's lazy behavior.
Yeah. No. Well, no. We don't. Do we know that? See,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So here's the definition.
Because lazy.
The definition is unwilling to work or use energy.
Hold up. Stop.
It's one.
Unwilling is a key phrase there because
Mhm.
that denotes consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Water and electricity, as far as we know,
Nah,
is no
I know.
consciousness.
Nope, I
You know
know.
what I'm
I
saying?
did it.
Right,
I did
it's
an
most efficient.
experiment.
It's most
I did it.
efficient.
Right. I did an experiment, and my sample size was pretty decent.
Listen,
And electricity.
when you say I don't want to do this, and no other reason comes to mind except for you just don't want to do it, that still
Right.
might not be necessarily.
It still might not be, because here are the other definitions. Disinclined to activity or exertion.
I love that.
Disinclined. I'm going to start using that.
Excuse me, sir. I am disinclined.
Disinclined to activity or exertion.
Mm.
Encouraging inactivity or indolence. Moving slowly. Not rigorous or strict.
So I don't
So
think any of those definitions fit water or electricity because those all imply conscious will.
Right.
It all implies
yeah. And here's the thing. I don't see they not paying enough on this list. I don't see my boss treats me like shit on this list.
You know the reason why you don't see that? Because again, they're trying to point a narrative in a certain direction. Like, let's not discuss all the issues that the United States has with the way their employment system is set up and the way we look at work over here. No, not that. Let's not do that at all. You know why? Because a lot of these people over here are bad. They're sheep. But there are certain, once you get to a certain, when we talked about before about being the type of people that are observant, we look at things and we don't just look at this one little individual thing. What's happening around it? What's informing it? What's making it? Once you get to that point, it is hard, not impossible, but it is hard for the propaganda to stick because now you point those skills towards that and you realize I have not thought a single thought in my life that someone else somewhere hasn't thought.
Right.
A lot of the ideas, right? A lot of the ideas that I have, I learned somewhere. Even if I can't point to the source of it as individual source. I know whatever. It's just these ideas other people have had. And once you start to realize that, you start realizing just how much of what you actually have of that is actual free will.
Right.
Because a lot of the things you base your behavior a lot of times off of your information. It's random.
If you're influenced without an alternative, that's not free will.
Exactly.
You didn't have another choice.
You didn't have a choice. You didn't know of another choice.
You weren't forced, but you weren't given another choice.
Exactly.
That's not free will.
These are heavy questions that I can't answer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to pretend.
Here's the thing. I'm a heavy proponent of the idea that you don't have to have the answer to tell somebody that something's wrong.
Or to pose the question. You don't have
because here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right, so either it's like you're mad at the death of rebellion inside of you,
right?
Because you can't. If you say, "All right, jobs are shit," okay, jobs are shit in general. A general statement: jobs are shit. What do you do to fix the problem? If your answer hasn't stopped jobs from being shit, how can you complain about someone else's answer?
Right.
If your answer is to go in and do your best and blah, 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 and your job is still shit, how can you shit on the person that's like, I'm not going to work there?
Yeah.
Because it's shit.
Because you haven't disagreed with me.
No.
Shit. You know it's shit.
You haven't disagreed with me, and your actions, your decisions haven't fixed the problem.
Right. It's still shit. Just because you're doing it doesn't mean that it's not shit anymore. It's still shit. But again, it's one of these things where if you look at the history of progress in general, there is a certain space where people have been used to doing the same thing the same way for the longest time. and then there's somebody or somebodies that come along, go and buck it and go, no, I'm not doing
why
that
can't we do
shit.
it this way?
And then at first, there's always going to be pushback against the people that's bucking the tradition. It's always going to be most of you that's on this right now in the live stream are atheists, skeptics, and all of that, right? You know about pushback because you live in a society where the vast majority of the society are religious leaning. Even if they don't go to church every day or go to the mosque every day, they're religious leaning. They believe in a deity or higher power, something like that. So you know about the pushback when you go, I don't believe in that. You know that. This is with everything. If there are people that traditionally, there's a certain way we do things. We do things this way. And then somebody comes along and go,
but no, I
you
want
don't
to
even look happy doing that yourself. I don't want to do that. I'm not.
I'd rather say, let me say,
right.
You zigging over there.
You zigging. I'd rather say,
I'm gonna say,
people that are zigging are gonna go, well, this is an outrage. How dare you do that? How dare you?
We've always done it this way. What how's that worked out for you?
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't, but this is the way to do it. No.
Right.
Simply no. Yo, existential question. Are we free to choose that which does not cross our mind? I have the answer. Existentially, yes. Until you don't. In the moment, yes, you are still free to choose it. It hasn't come upon you yet until you make the choice. Wow. Once you make the choice, then no, you're not free.
I'm confused. Explain that.
No.
Bring that back.
All right, so are we free to choose the things that have not crossed our mind? Right. Yes, at that moment, because we haven't made a choice yet.
No, not even that you haven't made a choice. You don't even know it exists. I think it's
no. I get that. Listen to what I'm saying. If I'm at a crossroad and it's super foggy outside, so I don't see the other side of the fork.
Right.
Doesn't exist. Before I start on my way to going to that right side of the fork, I'm still free to choose the left side. Yeah. I don't know it's a real thing, but the instant that I start going towards that right side, I'm no longer free to do the other thing because it's not an option for me.
They palm his ass.
The proximity. Yo! I'm not gonna hold you. It is powerful.
I love that analogy. My only problem with it is that typically in life, there are more than two.
Oh, thanks. No, without question. Yeah.
So
no, I just had to make it as simple as possible for myself.
Right. But it's hard.
Not for anybody else. I was still working on it at the moment. So I had to scale it.
It's hard to account for what you can't account for. Like
absolutely, no, you can't.
I don't. It's like, can you mold the clay before you get the clay in your hands? Kind of.
Existentially,
if you can imagine what you would do with the clay, but what if you don't know? Never heard of clay.
The moment that the problem. This is why I said it the way I said it. Until you're forced with the problem, the choice doesn't matter.
That's true.
That's basically what I'm saying. Until you have to address the issue, whatever choices you have are irrelevant because you haven't had to address the issue. The moment that you're forced to address the issue and those problems those other ways are still not clear to you, then your free will has been taken from you.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. I know that the moment I came to the realization that everything that I know, somebody else knew before me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I know, that's a fact, by the way. So I'm making that differentiation because it's things I know that I might think I know that ain't
not even
true. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But once that was freeing in a lot of ways because it allowed my mind to ask certain questions that it wouldn't ask before. It wouldn't even have thought to ask before. But it's like the whole question of, why do I believe that? Never crossed my mind until I realized it. Until I realized, there's nothing I'm thinking that I didn't learn from someplace else, somebody else who thought it before me. So now the question I got to ask myself is, why do you believe it?
Right.
Have they given you a good reason to accept that as facts? If somebody was to ask you right now to explain why that is what it is, could you merely say because somebody else told me that this, that, never, or I read it in that there's got to be a way for you to actually break down into its lowest bare parts things that you believe to be true, because if not, you're not as free as you think you are. The other motherfuckers are influencing your thought all the time. You are not a closed system. You are not a closed system. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And these things are not easy conversations to have, but I think they're worthwhile in the sense that when I started having those questions and conversations about myself, it did allow me to be a bit more perceptive about trends. You see certain societal trends. You see certain things people, y'all jacking that? What's the eventual outcome of all of y'all jacking that? What's the result of that from, y'all not jacking it? Y'all not going to do that. Y'all not going to do it. What's the eventual outcome of y'all not doing that? Well, what does history tell us?
Right.
Interesting. This happened because of, so what's to prevent that from happening again in a different way, but it's the same thing.
You do it.
Man of beast, that's exactly what it is. It's a Socratic method. Like, why do I believe? And this is why a lot of times when I question people, I ask them not about the individual specific thing.
Right.
Why do you believe that?
Yeah.
How did you come to that conclusion? Because
not knowing shit is underrated as fuck.
Yo. I've mentioned this before on the show. There is a song by this old rap group from old Def Jam days called Third Base. Two white guys, MC Search and Pete Nice, right? They got a song that starts off with a sample that says, he is stupid, but he knows he is stupid, and that almost makes him smart. That.
Yo, people be mad as fuck when I tell them I don't know something. like legitimately upset. Like I'm choosing not to help them.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I don't know everything. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, the fact that you believe that I know everything makes me feel bad for you.
You know, it makes me feel bad for them because I feel like at some point I'm going to be guilty of some form of malpractice.
Bro,
you thinking I know and you not being critical means I got to now think for you, which means I now literally have to say, hold up, yo, I'm just spitballing. I don't know this for. I got to keep doing that because if you assume first of all, at the risk of once again of being redundant, if we're the smart, if me and SPJ come to my birthday party, if we come to your birthday party and we walk in there and we're the smartest guys in the room, shut the party down. Run. Fuck out of here.
Not worth being there.
It's not worth being there. You're not gonna learn a goddamn thing. And that's the other thing, JR, that the Dunning-Kruger effect. The vast majority of people I've come across have that in some way, shape, or form. You know who have it the least though? Those that acknowledge, I don't know. When you have a healthy,
you got me, my guy.
Right. When you have a healthy awareness of expertise that you don't have, like what does it look like me sitting there?
There are known knowns and there are known unknowns, but there are also unknown unknowns. Things you don't know that you don't. Okay,
you don't know, right? What would I look like sitting up there arguing with Neil deGrasse Tyson about astrophysics? I look dumb. However, me sitting there arguing to him about whether or not Thor's the strongest character ever because of the weight of his hammer, I got him beat because he don't know.
The hammer doesn't weigh that much.
And when he said that shit on Twitter, I was on him. I was like, Mr. deGrasse, let me tell you something.
Pardon me, sir.
I
interject, sir.
Allow me to interject. You're an expert in astrophysics and all of that, and I respect that. You'll never see me get up there and try to no. This though, you're wrong. You're wrong. That hammer weighs maybe 75 pounds.
Right.
Maybe 75 pounds. It's the enchantment. And that's magic. And that's outside of your purview, outside of mine, because it doesn't exist. So We got to go by the construct of the story. And that's what the story says. Not that it's a piece of a dying star. No, it's metal. It's a metal.
If the hammer was as heavy as some people believe it is,
right,
it would explode.
No, not only would it explode, if it was that heavy on Earth, a piece of a
gravity would be all
a neutron star,
bruh. It would be over.
What?
He wouldn't have come to Earth.
Right. For what? Why would he come to Earth? He would literally destroy this shit. It's literally like him stepping on a cardboard box. Like the mass of a spoonful of a neutron. Like, no. Neil was wrong. And I can argue with Neil about that. But I'm not going to sit there and act like I got some sort of expertise over him on astrophysics. It's not happening. That's not happening. That's dumb. And I think that awareness helps reduce Dunning-Kruger. That helps reduce it because you understand there's such a thing as expertise. There's such a thing of this man has worked on this his whole life. This man has studied this and worked in the field his whole life. And me, I flipped burgers. And while there's honor in all work, and I could definitely tell him a thing or two about how long it takes to flip that motherfucker over before that shit burns, I can't talk to that man about a shit.
You know what I'm saying? About a thing or two, but this ain't the thing or two.
Oh, so Manabeast asks, do you think Batman ever runs into some magic type shit that he don't know how to counter with some science shit?
Because contrary to popular belief, Batman's number one power is not plot. I mean, it's not prep time. It's plot armor.
Yeah. I think he's run into some issues before fucking with magic users where they've done things to him and controlled him in certain ways and did things to him. He didn't have a science answer for that at the time. Right. A lot of times it took somebody else to come along and do something to disenchant him. Magic is a sticky wicket because it depends on the comic book universe. Some comic book universes view magic as just another science that's not fully understood by the lesser advanced people. And then there are some comic book universe with no, bitch, this magic. Period. Yeah. I actually respect those universes a lot because I feel like there's an aversion to that by a certain segment of the comic book audience. No, it's got to be able to be explained somehow. No, it doesn't.
Sidorak don't care about your explanations.
Yeah, this is fictional shit. Absolutely has the right to not be explainable. It's fiction. Has the right to not be explainable. Like you said, Sidorak don't give a fuck about your little measurements and your beepers. He don't care. Sidorak don't care about that. Dormammu doesn't care about the, with the numbers in it. He don't care about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So leave that alone. Modru don't care. Modru don't give a fuck. Dr. Fate don't care about your Satana don't care about none of that. All she knows is if I say this shit backwards.
All right. Whoa. All right. So we have some.
Hey, yo, napalm is.
No. I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yo, man, Constantine don't care. Constantine don't care about your little. Fuck out of here.
Wanda,
as much as he tricks Batman.
Reality.
Constantine don't care.
Probability? What are you talking about? Anyway,
see you over there with the beakers, test tubes.
Yo, I'm about to upset you.
Oh shit! First of all, that's not hard to do. So I don't know why you.
No, I know because I like pointing it out. I like, some people consider me a soothsayer. Actually, Palm called me the Oracle. So I'm gonna.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Some people call him the gangster.
I'm about to upset you. Brace yourself. Brass Against singer apologizes for peeing on fans' face as NASCAR permanently bans the band from its venues. The old adage, there's no such thing as bad press, apparently doesn't apply when you intentionally urinate on a fan's face in the
I
middle
would
of
be pissed.
No shit. There's no such thing as bad press apparently doesn't apply when you intentionally urinate on a fan's face in the middle of a festival performance. At least that seems to be the case for Brass Against.
Y'all
And
some nasty motherfuckers, man.
Sophia Urista, more like Sophia Urethra. Anyway, who on Tuesday night issued her first individual apology for her actions this past Thursday at Welcome to Rockville Festival in Daytona Beach, Florida. Florida woman pisses on. Anyway, I have always pushed the limits in music and stage.
Nah, yo, we not doing that. We
That
not
night-
doing that.
No. Allow her to finish. I've always pushed the limits in music and stage. That night, I pushed the limits too far. Urethra wrote in. I'm sorry, I have to call her Urethra. Urethra wrote in a statement posted on her personal Twitter account. I love my family.
No JR. That's some rock star piss.
I love my family, the band, and the fans more than anything. And I know that some were hurt or offended by what I did. I apologize to them and want them to know that I didn't mean to hurt them. I am not a shock artist. I always want to put the music first. I'm grateful for all of your continued love and support. To be fair,
No,
to be fair,
one of us.
To be fair, okay. To be fair, she didn't stop singing. She was singing the whole time when she was. Anyway, as previously reported during Brass Against set at Welcome to Rockville last week, Urethra singled out a male fan in the crowd with a beer can on his head. She called him up onto the stage while the band was covering Rage Against the Machine's Wake Up. She then told him to lie down on the stage, at which point she pulled down her pants and urinated on his face. The man, seemingly thrilled by the act, then proceeded to stand up and Triple H spit the liquid onto the audience. Now, let me be clear.
We'd have been fighting motherfuckers.
Wait. Listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't come across quite the way it should from what I just read. Let me please explain to you.
No, it comes across worse.
I did. No. Trust me. I did the research. So you guys don't have to. I saw the video.
I'm not doing
nigga.
No.
I'm not suggesting anybody. I didn't put no links anywhere. No, do not do this. Bruh, the sheer amount of urine that came out of this woman's body is alarming.
Yo.
When I say, like, legitimately, it was coming. And when he stood up, he looked like he had been attacked by a fire hose.
Listen,
legitimately, that much.
That scene in Get Out, where the black woman was like, no, that's me right now. No.
Or my go-to cipher, not like this. Not like this.
Listen, we'd have been. Nigga, if we'd have been sitting
and
there,
then he got up and Triple H spit the shit into
the next thing that would have came out his mouth was teeth.
Wait.
Be blood down his leg.
Yo, at least those or the pest, because anyway, at least into him, off of him. Most of the prepositions work.
Manna, you have manna. Full disclosure, I don't even be liking these apes touching me. Nigga.
Yo, I was so confused.
The judge
was so confused.
The judge in the trial after that would have said of me, I understand what she did, how vile it was. I understand what he did, how vile it was. But what you did in response to that was over the top.
I mean,
death penalty. Death penalty. Nah,
yo,
Nate. Why, yo?
I mean,
Palms
it's true
sweaty,
though.
knees
It's
weak,
true though.
bladder's heavy. Really? Is
Yo,
that what we doing?
you have to realize, you have to understand how long she was holding that in.
Nigga, Jonathan just said she had to go peek it on the stage. He had a GoPro on it. So you mean to tell me that there is an angle of that video?
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Wait. To be fair, there is no scenario in which no. Jonathan said she had to pee and couldn't leave the stage. That is incorrect. There's no scenario in which you can't go pee.
If I got a whole band up here or goddamn hype,
they can play some instrumentals.
Do some shit while I'm going.
Right. It's gonna take me 5 minutes to go use the bathroom. Play
y'all entertainers too.
Metallica, they're a cover band. Do Metallica 1. Play that song. That's more than 5 minutes.
That's all.
I'm gonna go piss and I'm gonna come back. And I'm gonna jump in on the darkness imprisoning me. I'm gonna come in on that part.
I'm a cartwheel back, so it really looked like a show. I'm a cartwheel back in there. But fuck out of here.
So, at least on social media, Urethra's antics have been well received by fans.
That's an antic. Okay,
they've been well received by fans. Your band should be thanking you. You'll get the attention your band deserves because the music is fantastic. One Twitter user wrote, "You do you. Artistic expression should not have to be apologized for. If anyone has a problem, they need to reassess where they are in life and perhaps find something real to be offended by. You did nothing wrong. And actually, it was probably the coolest thing someone in rock has done for an untold number of years."
Hold up, bro. Hold up. I'm glad that person said that. Because this person is a perfect example of where we are now. This is where we are. There are people who ran around this motherfucker, who run around here now talking about civility. But I remember a time when there were people out there attempting to be civil in conversation, and they labeled it political correctness and said, we don't want that shit. We are at the point now, right? Yo, that's ass. Napalm's ass.
Yo, Paul
we're
said,
at the point.
I tweeted this from president.
We are at the point now where if you say you don't want to be pissed on, you being a snowflake.
Literally, I literally don't want to be pissed on, and you're like, you should find something else to be offended by. What?
What's going
on? yo, them damn boomers.
No, you fucking millennials are so sensitive. You can't even be pissed on.
You can't even be pissed on stage out in public.
This is
you should have no expectation of that happening to you.
At any other point in time, you would say, no, Tombstone, that's you just demonstrating absurdity by being absurd. No, this motherfucker fuck out of here. I'm not. No. This is truthfully, this is the reason why I find all this shit to be a fucking joke. I see people on one side talking about the sins of wokeness, but then I seen people on the other side talking about they was red pilled. What is red pill if not you were made awaken from a state that you was in before? That's what that whole concept in that movie was. Take the blue pill or the red pill. Take the red pill, you see how far this rabbit hole really goes. In other words, you wake up from the dream of the Matrix. That i.e. being woke on that side of the political. Stop it. You're all apes on a rapidly warming planet that's in the midst of a sixth extinction. Die already.
Yo,
fuck out of here.
Pissed though. Like, again, I want to get across the amount of urine that came from her body was as if she had. No, listen, bro. I need to because it's absurd. The absurdity of actually listen. It was almost as if she had just drank like 7 of those. I promise you, if you tried to bottle it up, it would fill up that bottle. Actually,
what is the function of urine and feces, fecal matter?
Well, hold hold on. You ain't a sterile. I mean,
the waste material.
it's waste. Okay, sure, yes.
Yeah, Napalm, you are ridiculous. Spots up there.
Man, I have no fucking idea. This is why I was so confused, because I'm like, all right, so this is all right. Let me walk y'all down my exposure to this shit. So Google does this thing where they give you recommended stories, right? And in those recommended stories, they'll throw you some stories that aren't necessarily recommended based on anything you've done, but they want to see if you are interested in it, because that's more shit that they can feed you. It's just how the whole algorithm works. So I stumbled across this story, and the one that I stumbled across was rock band apologizes for lead artist peeing on fan. So I'm like, how does this work? So all right, you have not curiosity. All right, let me click the fucking
800 milliliters.
Nigga, listen to me clearly. I hear you, and I believe that's
2 cups.
I believe that's factual.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm getting 2 different things. I'm saying.
All right, see, thank you. That makes me feel better, because I saw it.
400 to 500 milliliters, which is actually less than what that other number I got.
Look,
they said about 2 cups before it reaches capacity. That's what it says.
I listen.
She may have an enlarged bladder.
Okay, because bruh, I saw the video. There's no way. There's no way. Like I read the article and I was like, all right. And then of course there are different takes on it, right? So like there was one article that said something to the effect of charges were being brought up, right? And then there was another article that painted it in a completely different way. Like one article painted it like she did this like in defiance of the fan. And then there was another article that was like, no, the fan willingly got on stage, laid down for her to piss on him. And then you watch the video. So in the video, there are a bunch of videos. I only saw the one because I'm not watching that shit more than, that's dead. So I'm looking at the video. This particular video starts when he's laying down. She walks over to him, drops trowel, crouches, and lets rip, right? And he's loving it. Like he's tongue out. And,
he's McLovin it.
So she finishes.
Let me ask you a question. How old did he look?
Probably, I want to say he's probably a Gen Xer.
So here's
a younger Gen Xer.
Here's the thing, young man. You have one of these days. You might have children.
He probably has children.
Your children have seen this video.
Statistically speaking,
if you have children, they've seen this video.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what you was on when you was at this festival, what kind of drugs or whatever. But they gonna
Pop Molly, I'm sweating. Woo!
They gonna see that shit. They gonna see it.
Piss. No, piss. Piss. It was piss, not shit.
They gonna see that.
Realistically, when you look at the video, if you had no idea,
that video.
Obviously, no. My point is, if you had no concept of what happened, you would probably think she was about to shit on him. Like,
oh no. Trust me, sir. She did.
Well, okay, yeah, metaphorically. But anyway, so you see the video. She drops trowel, she crouches, she starts pissing, and he's loving it. And when you think the piss should have stopped, it doesn't. It continues to stream. So it's like, all right, this is still happening. And then you get to another point where you think it should have stopped by now. No, there's still a little bit left. All right, so she finishes, pulls her. Mind you, again, she's singing the whole time. Amazing concentration.
I don't know that improves the situation.
It's impressive. It's not an improvement, but it is impressive.
She could have been literally balancing a bowling pin on her nose at the time, and I still would be.
I probably would have given her the seal clap. But anyway,
she got the clap on it.
You stupid. So she finishes. She pulls up her pants, and she's jumping off. She's in another place right now. He gets up. Triple H spits into the air, and then like 5 seconds or so later, she's like calling security to get him off of the stage. Get this motherfucker off the stage. And I'm like, ma'am, you literally just pissed in his face. I'm not sure how these types of sexual deviants behave, but I'm fairly certain standard protocol is not kicking them out immediately.
Maybe
maybe you owe him dinner, or maybe he owes you dinner. I don't know how that works.
Something about this
flowers, candy.
Somehow I feel like the rest of the 7 billion people on this planet just took an L. I can't explain to you what it is.
No. You feel no more, my good man. You are correct.
You took an L.
Yeah.
Yo, no.
And I'm like,
I'm gonna take it even further, yo. I got to. The concept of existence is just taking a big L.
This is what we're here for.
I'm sitting here wondering. I'm having an existential crisis right now because of this. Because I'm feeling like if I got to choose between 13.2 billion years of nothingness and 13.2 billion years leading up to this moment, I think I'm choosing nothingness. I'm still going back and forth here. I'm choosing nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this. I don't.
Listen,
and now, as flawed as Thanos's plot was,
no, don't talk about that because he might have been right.
Listen,
you got to watch Eternals.
He was. I know what you're talking about. Somebody else had mentioned it, but I ain't let him go into detail.
Yeah, that's why I'm. Yeah.
I will just say this: without having knowledge of that, right? Without having knowledge of that, Thanos fucked up because his first deal was half.
Yeah,
he should have took them all. He should have took them all. If we knew that would have been avoided, and he took it all. Listen, Thanos might have been the biggest hero ever. Ever, if he'd have said, "Listen, when I do this, you will never have to worry about somebody peeing in somebody's face." At a concert, ever.
Oh God. Yo, Palm said her bladder wasn't finite though. You're right. You're right. The shit just kept going and going and going. Yo, why is she? She's probably She's probably still paying.
Probably still paying now.
She's probably still paying on it. Like I don't understand. Right. I don't understand. But anyway, moving on. That was number one. Because number one.
You're so ass.
Okay, all right. That was number one. Number two. All right, so it is a shitty situation. Stop. I can't help it. I'm sorry. Listen. So
that was your duty to do that.
All right. Okay. Stop it. All right. So, back when we used to always do articles and whatnot,
right?
There was a particular website that I gave flowers to, Diaspora 7 or something like that. Mm-hmm. That site's no longer updated, so I can't give them flowers anymore. Then I don't know. Then the Root was another website that I have issues with a lot of their stuff that they do, but they also do a lot of good shit. So I have no problem commending them when they on their shit. This So this other way, so recently, I want to say maybe 5 or 6 months ago, I started expanding the sites that I use to get the articles from. So, and to this point, I hadn't called any of them out by name, mainly because they seem to always be on top of things. You know, human nature in general is to point out the bad things and just go with the flow when good things are happening. Yeah. It's just how we tend to be. Yeah. Sadly, I'm regretting that now because I have to call one of them out. Atlanta Black Star.
Heard of
him. Before this point, had no issues with them. And this isn't nothing super serious. This is just a journalistic
and also,
thing.
it's one journalist. Like, maybe
right.
You know.
Right. It's just a journalistic thing.
But you got to question the editorial staff for letting it go through.
That's my thing. See y'all. Matter of fact, I opened it today. So the fact that it's still up, that makes my point even better. Mm-hmm. Here's the headline. See y'all on the brighter side. T-Pain shares video of his Rolls Royce getting repoed, warns fans to watch the person watching their money. Now, I showed you already.
Yes.
But basically, rapper turned singer, T-Pain, put on his Instagram a little while ago a video where there was this guy with his Rolls Royce hooking it up to be brought onto a bigger truck to be driven away. And basically he put the caption, if you have somebody watching your money, make sure you have somebody watching them too. The good news is I've been here before and I know how to bounce back, so fuck it. Y'all be careful out here, man, and watch your business like you watch your bitches. See y'all on the brighter side.
Mind your business.
See y'all on the brighter side. There is a thing about that. Let me see if I can pull this up. So that was
that shouldn't be. That's not copyrighted shit, is it? I mean, it's on.
I'm seeing if I can even pull it up because it's on Instagram.
Oh yeah, just put it on one of them.
About the no,
how many monitors you can work with? Just put it on another monitor.
I got 75 of them. I definitely got an extra one now since I sent Eddie the computer.
Right.
So yeah, where we at? No, yo, don't tell me he took it down.
Damn.
And I can't play it without. Hold on. Talk to the people.
Napalm's ass. Napalm with the nonsense, the fuckery and chicanery. So is he saying he needed to auto-tune his finances? Well, see, here's the problem, Napalm. You're very punny today. It's true. However, no, I don't believe that's the case. I think he generally thought that was funny. There's just no way, like, for a guy like him, while it's not impossible, we've seen examples of people going broke that made a lot of money in music. Find it hard to believe that
he's gone broke before.
Yeah. So, because here's the thing: as long as he owns masters, and shit like that,
which he does,
the odds of him not having any money, slim to none.
Right.
Slim.
All right. So this is the very next post that he made on Instagram.
With that look on his face.
It's a look of exasperation.
Is that what that is?
I was just bullshitting. I was just bullshitting. Yeah. It's only You said it was your year. Now it's more clear you ain't pulled the trigger. But you love to hate. Now I'm doing great. You looking stupid, nigga. I was in bullshit. I was in bullshit. Yeah. You told you that he was gonna do it, didn't you? You said it was your year.
So basically, it was a rollout for a single, which was masterful, right?
Also, I actually I like the energy of that.
Absolutely,
like what he was saying.
Right.
All right. Listen, there is a certain art to simplicity. Because basically, you don't have a lot of words to impress, so you gotta fit that shit in. Has the most impact, even though you don't have all this something about. I would just bullshit, and then it's a whole thing. It's a rapper. The inflection in his voice when he said it. It's a lot. I thought that was cool.
Oh, he killed it. He killed it. Absolutely killed it. The issue is the day that this came out, the day that he posted this, this article was posted.
Oh no.
Rapper T-Pain shared a video of his Rolls Royce being repossessed on Instagram and warned his fans to be careful with their money. The footage shows the repo man loading the Rolls Royce up on the truck as the rapper tries to change his mind. There's nothing I can do, said the repo man. I gotta take it, he declared. With that, the repo man loaded up the car in the dark of the night. As T-Pain stood by helplessly and watched, he is shown signing the paperwork before going back inside his house. The rapper later shared video footage of the car being repoed on Instagram with a caption warning folks to watch the people who watch their money. I read the caption already. The Grammy Award-winning artists. I say artists because it's the. How do you do? Are you supposed to still do? Because there's an apostrophe. Yeah. Is it artists or just artists?
I would say
I don't know. Because it's an apostrophe. If there wasn't an apostrophe, I would just say artists.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, his car may have been his car may have been repossessed, but he still has a lot to look forward to. T-Pain also has a new book out called "Can I Make You a Drink?" about his love of mixology. The rapper's new liquor guide features cocktails named after his songs and classic cocktails modified by the artist. The new author posted a picture of himself and fellow.
Right? You are aware of how
I don't quite know. Because, like I said, there's no timestamp on it, so I don't know the exact timing of when it was posted, but it was posted the same day as the video that I just played.
I would assume.
So,
just an assumption, but knowing how social media shit is now.
But hold up, here's my biggest issue isn't that it came out the same day as that video, because again, it could have came out before the video came out, right? My biggest issue is that now it's 4 days later and there's no traction, there's no edit, there's no, I looked at their site, there's no other article to explain that, none of that.
Yeah. And they hadn't pulled the article either. So
they didn't pull the article because I didn't pull this up that day and leave it sitting. No, I just pulled this up. So the article's still live.
I gotta say, man, it's a pet peeve because for so long, people usually get their information about what's happening in the world from places like this. If you don't have the integrity for your brand,
right?
So because I always feel like this. A lot of people say, "Oh, if you make a mistake, it'll fuck your brand up. So you need to double down, be strong and wrong." I don't see it that way. A person that can admit to me that they got something wrong, they become more trustworthy.
My trust.
They become more trustworthy than me. And then this way I know if they have an honest, I have a better probability of analyzing if they just have certain blind spots about certain topics, but they honestly believe it.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Like with this, you let that shit stay up there for 4 fucking days, even after the rollout has been complete. We know this was a troll, this was a joke. You still have this on your platform like this is some shit that happened. No retraction, no second article following up that article with this, that, never. And then you got us, Steve. None of that. That makes me look at your entire, especially like we mentioned before, but even before you read it, the editorial. that Twitter stat. Y'all let that stay up there. Nobody went back and said, "Yo, we got to pull that."
Right.
That's to me worse than when they say, "Oh, the false information be on the front page, but the retraction be on page 30." Well, at least it's there. Yeah, that's ass, but at least it's there. It's not even there.
I don't see it. Let me I went because
Hold
I
up.
went to
Marissa Sister gave an explanation for the apostrophe. The apostrophe is just to imply possession for the plural artists. This why S after apostrophe is typically left off a plural or name that ends with an S, but not wrong if it's included. Okay.
No, I get that, but I'm talking about the pronunciation.
Oh, how you pronounce it? Yeah.
I did I looked at their main page. There's not another T-Pain article. I did a search on their website. I do not see another T-Pain article. So yeah,
that's sad to see. And I'm now wondering now.
I'm sorry. There are other T-Pain articles,
right?
But not
addressing that. It does make you tend to wonder: is that your first time not offering a retraction? What else there that turned out to be wrong, and you didn't spin the block on it. You just kept moving to something else. Makes you wonder,
bruh. Yeah. It is what it is, but yeah, that caught my eye and rubbed me a little bit of the wrong way. All right, next up,
silent when included in that case. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, artists. Irv Gotti says it's fucked up that Ashanti is re-recording her albums.
Is it though?
She is basically trying to fuck me out of my masters, he said. You understand? I'm sorry. So everybody here is at least, well, I can't. Everybody here is at least a fan of Tombstone the Dead Man, right?
Kind
of. Come on, stop it. Now I don't know how deeply y'all go into ownership and all that other good stuff, but listen to. I know it hit Tomb's ear. Listen to this statement. She is basically trying to fuck me out of my masters. My masters.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second, because there are things about this I know and things about this I don't.
Right.
So the question is, did she write all of that music?
Well, wait, here we go. We'll get into all that. Irv Gotti believes Ashanti is trying to take money out of his pockets by re-recording her classic albums. On Tuesday, November 16, Angie Martinez posted a clip from her recent interview with the Foolish singer, where she spoke about the importance of owning her own music. Irv Gotti took to Instagram to clarify what was going on. Just for super clarity, I own all those great Ashanti albums, Angie, he commented under her post.
Why do you own them, though, B?
I own the masters, and I produced all those great Ashanti albums. So I also own a good portion of the publishing. What she is trying to do is re-record all those great songs and put them out on her label.
Pretty smart.
She can do this under the cover laws, but she is basically trying to fuck me out of my masters.
Because everyone is going to go and listen to those new ones.
Irv then wrote that Ashanti is hoping her loyal fans listen to her re-recorded LP instead of the original that he owns the masters to. He also said the situation was fucked up, but he wants to hear what her versions will sound like to see if it matches the magic that we made. As Revolt previously reported, back in September, Ashanti revealed that she was re-recording her self-titled album as an independent artist. During an interview on the Tamara Hall show, she said that being able to recreate her music was humbling and such a blessing. There's a higher power, and I think that just being as a person and praying and putting your heart into things, you get the energy back. And I think it's so important, so I'm just really happy. Ashanti was originally released in 2002. The project was debuted #1 on the Billboard 200 and spent a total of 55 weeks on the chart, featured several hit singles, including Happy, Baby, and the #1 track, Foolish. That same year, the Triple Platinum LP won a Grammy Award for Best Contemporary R&B Album at the 45th Grammy Awards. So here.
His claim.
He's mad because she found a way around a shitty contract.
See,
that's basically
what it sounds like to me, because she's not the first artist to do that.
No,
other artists have done that same thing.
And actually, I found that out later in life that the vast majority of artists that do re-releases do it for this reason.
Yeah. My thing is, you signed her young.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she didn't have all the information.
Mm-hmm.
So the contract, whatever contract it was she signed, was signed under it's kind of like with what Dave Chappelle was saying about the contracts he signed when he was young. So one thing Irvington is going to need to understand, and I'm not sure if that's actually how you whatever, but I'm just gonna say Irvington. One thing Irvington needs to understand.
Just
Irving.
Irving.
Sure it's Irving? Okay.
I'm partially sure.
Okay. Got you. You need to understand this, sir. You are a product of the old music industry.
Mm-hmm.
You, Diddy, couple other ones.
Mm-hmm.
You're a product of y'all got fucked. So you learned from that and started fucking the artists under the auspices of this is just the way we do business.
Right.
But see, much like we was talking about earlier about things progressing and changing, what we see thanks to the revolution of indie artists over the years and their elevation over the years, a lot of us want to see the artists we love profit the most. That's what we want to see. Because here's the thing. Irvington, Irv Scola. I don't know what the fuck.
All right.
The one thing that we know for certain is when she was up there on that stage.
It's Santana now, Irvington.
The one thing we know for certain is when she was up on stage performing that shit, or in that booth belting that shit out, when we went and got the CD or the digital download, your voice was not the voice we was dancing to. Your voice was not the voice we were crying to. And
nobody was going there because it was an Irv Gotti joint.
Right. Nobody got it because your name was on it, B. They didn't. JR asked, why do we worship artists?
Where did that question come from?
I don't know, but I just want to say this. The royal we, I don't worship artists. I got a whole song out there called No More Messiahs. I meant that
shit. One of our taglines is your heroes have no power here.
Heroes have no power here. But I will say this.
But if the only thing that I can get from what we just said is us being happy that Ashanti is doing
Celebrities. Oh, no.
Still,
listen, I'm an artist. And despite the fact,
I'm always going with the artist.
I'm always going with the artist. Despite the fact that SBJ's up here be lying about his rapidy raps, he's an artist too.
No, I said it last week.
Stop.
I got a song.
Always side typically with the artists and ownership and the ones of them who put themselves out there. And the reason we liked their shit was we didn't see you, homie. I ain't saying you ain't supposed to make no money off of it. I'm saying we didn't see you. We didn't see you.
He even said he still owns the publishing. Good. Keep the publishing.
But to that point, I think it's the same reason why it's not all that. I think it's part of human nature too, because even back, take the old Roman Empire days. Some warlord went out there, killed a whole bunch of barbarians, and did whatever the fuck he did, came back to a hero's welcome. They in the streets cheering and throwing shit, blah, 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 because we are attracted to the things we feel like we can't do. Somebody else does it, it's spectacular. Like, yo, that's crazy. How did he do that? How you get to sound? We sing in the shower all day long. They don't sound like a shower. You know what I'm saying? How did she do that? I think that has something to do with it. And it's a pet peeve of me and SPJ's that people will go so far with some of these celebrities as they will say something demonstrably false or do something demonstrably trash, and they will give them the benefit of the doubt and say, or they feel like they can't be criticized or critiqued because they like the fact that they sing good, or they rappity rap good, or they lie good as an actor being somebody else. We think, well, again with this rule, there are people that think that excludes them from criticism that a normal human would get. That shit don't rock on this show.
Just said it. It's easy to put artists on pedestals because we connect with their art, which is an expression finely crafted to resonate. We forget that part a lot. Absolutely. And here's the thing. I will give anybody praise that does things that I like.
Yeah.
There is no but. There's no that's a period at the end of the day. You are not beyond reproach.
You are not beyond reproach.
That's the difference.
And speaking of that, we really gotta get them shirts out. With the "Your heroes have no power here." We've been saying that for 3 years. Your heroes have no power here. If they did
but absolutely, you will get your praise for doing things that I like you to do.
We'll give you your flowers when you do shit that I love that album. He killed it. I love that movie. They were great in it. You know what I'm saying? But when you do something heinous or something we consider to be trash, we are amongst the first to dig into their ass because we got to call it out. We got to call it out. That shit is annoying when you see you got certain communities that spring up around these artists. Take Nicki Minaj's audience is toxic in defense of her. She can say all kinds of bullshit. No, my hero, listen, mind your business, Napalm. She will go out there and say some of the most toxic shit. She had a radio show that was for the express purpose of calling people a bunch of motherfuckers and all this other shit, and they will roll with it. They'll roll with it, and then if you say something to criticize them, when she came up there with that bullshit about her cousin's friend with the swollen testicles because of the vaccine shit, all you gotta do is look right underneath her fucking post, and you'll see all these sycophants under that motherfucker going, Hosanna, Hosanna to the highest, and throwing palms at her motherfucking feet. Like, like it's sickening. It's sickening.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, like there's
Manna.
I want to make that a distinction.
Manna, I fuck with Vinnie Pross. I do. I like Vinnie Pross had me starting to really like hip hop again back then when I thought, anybody really doing the shit I like. And then him and his crew and all of that, it's dope. But you're right. He says some dumbass shit in his bars. Prozac got fluoride in it. Stop it, B. Stop it. And listen, we do a whole show on the dumb shit he says in his music. We do a whole show on that. You know what I'm saying? But be that as it may, I still like the tunes. They slap. You know what I'm saying? But he be saying stupid shit. And I think it's a balance.
You can
separate. That's the point, JR. It's a balance. Like you should be able to, at the same time, say that's good music,
right?
And also say he's a piece of shit though. When he does some shit, or she's a piece of shit. When you do something fucked up, you should be able to be called out on that.
It's really that simple.
It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I don't like too. I don't like when people bring up their talent when we're not talking about that. God damn it. If we sitting here talking about some fuck shit they did, I don't need you to interject the fact that they did a great.
But it's a musical genius. Okay.
I don't give a fuck. We're not talking about when we had a conversation about the music.
Right.
We can talk about that. Right now, we talk about the fuck shit.
You know us and you listen to us and you talk to us, you know that we're not going to fret about that.
Right.
Ain't no way in the world.
They ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. They ain't got nothing to do with his behavior right there. That shit he did was fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. What was that football player
episode of Wingman when he was like, he was calling you all types of motherfuckers and all that. And the funny thing is, you being a motherfucker really ain't had nothing to do with the goddamn conversation. it's just like that. Like, why? Like he raped, abused, tortured, enslaved a bunch of young black women weren't women yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a musical genius. Oh,
that shit bothers me, man. That shit, yo, when I see somebody bring that up, I'm like, all right, so the next time if somebody does some fuck shit to you, and I happen to know this person, go, yeah, but he's really good at football. That nigga be playing shit out of bad. I know he raped you. I know he beat your ass.
He just kept you in prison. No hitter. He just completed a no hitter.
He makes a mean grilled cheese sandwich though. Like, listen,
that's what I've ever had.
It's the best.
Like, you know what type of
it's humans and what they choose to value and prioritize. You know what I'm saying? Like you're prioritizing whatever
empathy.
It's the lack of empathy.
Because this is the thing that is important to me about this person.
And you really come off as psychotic to be transparent. If we're talking about the shit this person did that was foul, and the first thing you do is bring up how great they are at something else as if that excuses what they did, you come off looking like a psychopath. You come off looking like that. Like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Hold up. Pardon me. Paul, don't hold up. Paul, don't
shit like that.
Dare.
Shit like that.
Don't you dare. Don't you ever come out of your fingers to disrespect symbiotes that way.
How dare you?
How dare
you, sir? Take those banana peeling hands of yours and type that on Al Gore's internet.
What are we doing here? God damn it! Get it together, sir. Shoot. You are not going to disrespect symbiotes like that. Not today we won't. Not on this show. God damn it.
Napalm, ladies and gentlemen. You might remember him from the No More Messiah song. It's on that too. Yo, hilarious. Nah, yo.
Yeah, I'm happy that she is. No, you're right. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm happy for Shanti. It just is what it is. I have no sympathy for Irv in this scenario. Like,
that's old music industry bullshit. That's old music. And see, this is the legacy of a lot of that bullshit, because again, they got shitted on in some way, and it was taught this is how you got to do. This is how you operate business. So they passed that business practices on to these artists. And now, because we in the era of more artists having more ownership over their shit, you're gonna see it more.
The fact that you are of the mind that her being able to use her voice, to recreate this thing is something that you should still have control over.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You bugging, and look, especially when you form your face to say she legally has the right to do it. Well,
right,
that's the end of it. I don't want to hear nothing more about that shit. So she's trying to fuck me out of my
you know what? Okay.
The fact that you did that also has me looking at you. I'm just full transparency. I've never fucked with Irv. Something about Irv Gotti that rubbed me the wrong way. It's something about him. And from a standpoint of, and this is completely Emerson Village bullshit. He always came out to me like a sucker who was benefiting off of the popularity, money, so he could get goons around him. I just look at his head.
I'm sorry. I absolutely hate Napalm, yo. Yo said Ja Rule re-recording his albums, asking for a friend that got rich and didn't die trying.
He's the worst.
Yo,
he's the worst, yo.
Why is this a thing?
And look, and this nigga been holed up in his house because he got a bad will. All he got time to do is troll, yo. And when he had two good wills, he was
all he had time to do was troll.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Now he got enough time with his hands to troll and shit, yo. Like, that's all he got. He's ass.
Amazing.
Yo, Man of Beat says none of this big record label bullshit is going to be around anymore. Everyone going to be starting off on SoundCloud or Bandcamp, and nobody even fuck with labels no more because nobody needs them. Here's the thing about that.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's incorrect.
That I've talked to way too many artists now who they say they're indies, but they're only indies because they haven't been signed yet.
Yeah.
Basically, if somebody approached them with a deal,
people are still getting signed every day.
Yeah, they would jump on it. They would jump on it. Yes, there are way more indies now than there's ever been before. But and I would agree with you. Just in my estimation, I don't think you need them. You just got to put a little more hustle in your legs.
Thanks. That part is absolutely true.
Yeah, I think you just put a little more hustle in your legs.
True.
But no, there are still people out here that want to be what I always call dependent artists. And to be clear, fair, let's be fair for a second.
There's a lot that comes with it.
There's a lot to come with it, but not only that,
good and bad.
Much in the same way that everybody is not cut out to be a business owner, there are some artists out here who are not cut out to run their careers. I give there are people I know from the indies that are terrible and probably would they're good artists, but terrible with business and might benefit from having an attorney, an agent, and to go in with some responsibility, somebody that knows what the fuck they're looking at with a deal. Because
Benny the Butcher just doing that. Absolutely, he did. Yeah. Now think about that's a perfect example, Paul. Think about that. All of the goodwill and all of the popularity and all of the eyes that they built up over the years, this motherfucker still signed to Def Jam.
Here's the thing about that though, because we do got to parse some things out with this. Because Benny the Butcher was known and did very well, and people knew who the fuck he was, and he was making noise. When he goes in there to negotiate, it's not going to be the same.
Oh yeah, his deal's going to be better. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So depending, you only get what you negotiate for. That's it. Right. If he went in there, and the odds are, one of the main reasons a lot of these guys. Say again.
Sweep signed him. So likely his deal was favorable.
Yeah, like odds are when some of these guys that we've already heard of, some of us that already bought their music, listen to their music, but they weren't signed. That when they get signed, that deal is not going to be the deal of a fledgling artist just coming in with raw talent that they have to mold and create. He already walks in the door with his own imagery. He already walks in the door with his own branding. Right. Mm-hmm. So the deal he's going to get from them is not going to be the deal that some young guy fresh off the farm, you know what I'm saying? Cool. He's not going to get that. So he might actually be making out on this deal. Now,
but that's the point. As long as that's the case, the record labels ain't going nowhere.
Right. Also, record labels did some other fuck shit. By connecting themselves up with the streaming services. Mm-hmm. This is another way to fuck the artist for real. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like Mana's overall sentiment I agree with. I hate these motherfuckers. I ain't gonna hold you. I hate them. I hate them because of all the years they took advantage. And then when people start pirating music at a fast rate and they took a hit, the first people they penalized was the artist. They start taking their shit from them. And then start saying, you know what? All that other stuff that we used to didn't take a percentage of, we're going to start taking a percentage of that shit now because we're not making enough money in sales. When this was actually mostly the record company's fault because y'all would sign these bullshit artists that maybe had one or two good songs and did an album of 25 songs that most of those songs nobody listens to. People went out, spent $17 on that fucking disc or whatever, and only can really like 2 songs on the damn project after spending that money. Then when the motherfucker offered them an alternative and say, yo, you can just rip it right off of here. You can just get the songs that you want off here instead of having that whole album and spending $17 for it. Them record companies did that shit to themselves. They did it to themselves. That's why it's not a whole lot of sympathy for them when it comes to that sort of shit because they done fucked over way too many artists. Way too many. I feel like it is worth its weight in gold to me to be able to say what the fuck I want to say on my songs. It is worth its weight in gold for me to be able to say these are my songs that I did. I can make a music video with them. I do the fuck I want and not be told when to release some shit. When I got to release this. That is worth all that shit. Now the question remains: me doing it the way I did it may not be for everybody. Especially considering the fact that it ain't like I became a goddamn millionaire doing it this way. You know what I'm saying? Shut up. It ain't like that. But I've often said to myself, there are levels of success I'm willing to be happy with. You know what I'm saying? You know, in exchange for that freedom. Right? So I won't get to be Drake. But by the time I got an audience, I was already an older artist in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention when they would sue the fuck out of kids and grandmas because they was on Napster. Yeah, they would do that shit. They absolutely. I remember that. I remember that time. I remember that era. I remember that. But a lot of times they was trying to make examples out of motherfuckers too.
That's all that was.
Yeah, yo, they was trying to make. They was trying to make
examples.
They get
most of the people.
It wasn't going. Hell no.
No way.
No, it wasn't. They was trying to make examples. They was trying to make examples out of people. Yo, record companies suck. Yo, don't.
I ain't never
gangsters, yo. They're not with a bunch of fucking gangsters, yo. That's what they was. It was gangsters. You know what I'm saying? But
legitimately though.
Yeah, yo, facts. Like they was on some bullshit. They always been on some bullshit. They always been fucked over artists. That's always been that case in the music industry. And the moment places
yo,
like
is
shit, he's
going to give his comment though.
He said fuck the certified fuck boy.
No, not that one.
But my bad. Oh yeah.
No, nigga, the one that's on the dance.
Oh damn. Oh, I see it now. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, man, like there's not a whole lot of sympathy for no motherfucking record companies over here. That whole narrative they put out there, yo, we succeeded in getting people to pay for music again. And I heard some dumbass handkerchief head ass artists repeating that shit before. And I'm like, are you fucking bananas? They literally giving you half cents on a dollar and shit. You know what I'm saying? Per spin. Not even a half cent per spin. You know what I'm saying? Right. Per stream. You running around here with that dumbass shit.
Yeah, they got what?
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Yo, all hail Taylor Swift, man.
Facts.
Fuck out of here. She went to war with them whores. She went to war with the whores. And ain't give no fucks either. Said what the fuck she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. But anyway, I think that's it for us today. I see my man SPJ over there.
Nashville.
Face.
Nom.
Over there filling his goddamn face. So while he's doing that, I want to thank everybody for once again joining the show this week with your interesting observations and the things you had to say. Napalm is still ridiculous, and he's an ape. You know, like he's clearly the most ridiculous ape here at the time. You know what I'm saying? With his nonsense. Really appreciate you guys, all of your engagement and your attention.
No, thank you, Special Space.
Yeah, no, exactly. You put that up there. Thank you. Also, Addy soon will be setting up. So he's really back on the show. And once he gets his setup back up, he'll be back on the show. And then he'll also be doing his live stream and his gaming stream.
Hashtag make Addy rap again.
Make Addy rap again. Let's hashtag that. Put that out there.
Hashtag make Addy rap again.
Make Addy rap again.
Anybody that has him on their Facebook friends list, go ahead and tag him with that hashtag. Hashtag make Addy rap again. Please make sure to spell Addy the correct way. A-D-I-E.
Yes. A-D-I-E. So that's dope that he's about to get his setup back up. Never forget about Jaded Nerd and his celebrity gossip beat over there. Very entertaining, very literate. His great elocution. And he be reading the fuck out of motherfuckers over there too. Please do not forget about the Rise Podcast every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. They just hit 500 subs, so that's good.
Hold up, let me clear this up. JR, Addy, A-D-I-E.
Yeah.
Addy. Hashtag make Addy rap again.
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Adequate.
No, one D, man.
Just one D.
A-E-I-E.
Yeah, just one D. Get this man back in the booth. Get this man back in the booth. Also, don't forget the Metas and Mutants podcast with our guy, Super Side Guy, talking about comic books and different things like that. And be sure, if you have not yet, you have an interest in helping us out, build this Majestic Comics company, join our Patreon so we can reach our goal to 100 Patreon subscribers and then release the book. Literally looking forward to that. Man, it'd be so funny. Don't let Addy quit. Hashtag don't let Addy quit. Special space. Hilarious. Yeah, man. But anyway, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.